From the Pro Image Group of Companies, Pro Sport, in conjunction with the Victorian Football League, presents Pro Football.
Hello and welcome once again to more great VFL action in pro football. This week, Collingwood takes on Richmond, and both sides have certainly been in the news. Collingwood and their plea for $1 million. Richmond still getting over that wonderful performance against the Sydney Swans in Sydney last weekend when they scraped home by 1 point in a fantastic game. So the scene was set for another big performance today, or would it not be by the Tigers? Time will tell as we go to football headquarters, the MCG. Greg Gill is joining Stephen Phillips for the opening bounce of this clash between the Magpies and the Tigers.
Okay, welcome viewers and fellow football fans here to the MCG today, round 9 of the pro football game between Collingwood and Richmond. It looks like it's a fairly good day for football, and I notice that Rioli's there too.
Yes, Stephen Phillips here. Greg, and Maurice Rioli is back in the Richmond team after a 9-month layoff. He's on the bench. The ball down in the centre. Collingwood kicking to the left of screen. Brian Taylor down there. Number 42 coming through is Mullane. Kick up there, they're looking for Taylor, the former Tiger. He's right in front, uses his strength, can't grab the ball. And Burton it is who pushes the ball towards the line. There'll be a throw in forward pocket, a crowd of about 30,000. A slight breeze, coolish Melbourne day, but no sign of rain on the horizon. Virtually the perfect day for footy as David Cloak, another ex-Tiger, comes into the ruck. He's up against Clark. Ball down on the ground. The umpire, we've got the Rowan Sawyers today and Snedden. Sawyers, one of the most experienced in the game. Ball down there, no one really able to get the ball out of that scramble of players, and the umpire will come in and bounce. Rowan Sawyers it is with the ball, half forward flank for Collingwood, in front of the members stand. Poole, great game in the interstate match a few weeks ago. Over to his skipper Mark Lee, taps it in. Anir in there, he's pushed to the ground. The umpire will come in and says, yes, we'll have a bounce here, right on the centre wing position. Gilly, a crowd of about 30,000, I'd say, could build up perfect conditions.
Yes, I'd say so, Stephen. It looks like a great day for it. These two teams are pretty keen to have a win. Richmond coming in from their big win against the Sydney Swans last week. As we see now the ball being attacked by Anir, trying to scoop up the ball. He's down on the ground trying to get rid of it. Umpire's called play on. Scrappy play now, the ball down, no one can quite get it out. It's kicked off the ground almost by Morwood. He's now picked the ball up and handballed across to Dacos, who's looking for someone to get it to. It's up in the air, they're up for the mark, no one can quite take the grab. Breaking out of the pack there and looking very balanced is Taylor. Turns around, drops onto the right boot and puts it through for a goal. A lovely shot too. Great goal, the first score for the day, and it's a big one for Collingwood. So here we are now, just on the 2-minute mark of this first quarter here, and we've got Collingwood, their first score, 1 goal, Richmond yet to score.
Two one-point victories to the Tigers in the last 3 weeks, and they're moving right up there towards the final 5. Young Ryan has the job today of looking after Brian Taylor. He had a rather nervous start last week against Warwick Kappa. Ball back down in the centre. Collingwood back into attack. Jamie Turner it is, swings onto his right boot, looking for David Cloak. Cloak in front of Jess on that occasion. Jess caught flat-footed, and the former Tiger looks for the short pass. It's a good-looking pass too, and he finds Mullane. Now Darren Mullane is a matter of 35 metres out. He's on the slightest of angles. The breeze just a bit swirly here at the MCG, but Darren Mullane perfectly set up to put the Tigers, put Collingwood's second goal on the board in a matter of seconds. Mullane comes in. Good player against Hawthorn last week. The kick, a high kick. It's a straight kick. It's a goal. 2 on the board for the Maggies. What a great start. 3 minutes into the quarter and Collingwood 2 goals straight, just the start they needed. Richmond yet to score.
Yes, that was certainly a good bit of football again, and Collingwood got off to a great start. Their tails are up. They've really got to get on top of Richmond right from the start if they're going to have any chance of winning this game. Richmond, of course, with their tails up from their last couple of wins, and as Steve said, really trying hard to get back into the final 5. The ball is bounced up now. The players set themselves. Fellows trying hard to get the tap out, but he was beaten there by Clark. The ball down to centre half forward, and a lovely comfortable mark there. A handball across to Gafer. Gafer now drops the ball out to centre wing position, picked up and handballed over his opponent. Running in to grab that ball. I can't quite pick up the player from the distance there. Handball towards the outer wing, right in the centre of the ground there. And the umpire says he'll bounce it up. Throw it in, I should say.
Two very promising, yeah, two promising ruckmen there. Fellows, who's been around for quite a while. He gets it over to Francis. Francis chips it into the centre of the ground. Tigers into attack for the first time. Long kick. Poor kick. Punched away by Smith, the former Swan. Not out of bounds. Keeps it in play. Johnny Anir. Great game last week too from Anir. Ball kicked around the corner then by number 27. And we've got a mark taken down there. Is it a free kick? 15-metre penalty. Back towards centre half forward. And the Magpies are away again. They're looking fresh and they're not looking bad at all. Mullane in the front, or Williams it is. Can't quite get the ball. Francis in there, he can't grab it. Stacks on the mill. The umpire's found the free kick and it will go to Philip Walsh. Former Magpie. Plenty of former Collingwood and Richmond players changing sides over recent years, and Philip Walsh, one of the great recruits of a couple of years ago. Mark Lee pushes Phillips out of the way. The handball on over there to Smith. Smith with a short pass looking for Shaw. Tony Shaw it is, all the time in the world. He'll look for the pass, he'll look for Taylor. Taylor away from Ryan on that occasion. Swings it into the goal square. Jimmy Jess in front of Cloak. Cloak uses his bulk, and the tap on Williams it is, who kicks for goal. Offline and through for a point. Collingwood 2-1-13. Richmond yet to score. We've been playing 5.5 minutes in this pro football match of the day at the MCG.
Yes, well, certainly Collingwood have taken time to settle down a lot faster than Richmond, who have been caught a little bit loose at the moment. A bit of bad kicking and not playing in front. So we see the players set themselves. No one can quite take the mark. Picking up from the pack and racing off to the crumbs. Couldn't quite get hold of the ball. Down on the ground she goes. Players going in everywhere. No one can quite do anything with it. You can see on your screen there Francis having a little bit of a look to see what's going on. Gafer seeing what he can get out of it. Ball's up in the air. Umpire's thrown that up. The players have set themselves down. Kicked up in the air. Richmond player on his own.
Walsh
takes a nice steady mark. He likes to play on, kicking down to the wing position. Leading out to meet the ball.
Oh, he's a good player, Pickering.
Pickering, yes. Yeah, I think he pretended a bit there to take it nice and easy, but the umpires let it go over the bounce to throw it in.
20 kicks, 13 marks, 5 goals for Michael Pickering last week against the Swans, and it was a great performance.
Certainly won the game for them, Steve. There's no doubt about that when the time was tough, and I think they might be looking for him today too if they don't lift their game soon. We're only 6.5 minutes into this quarter already, but Richmond had better start making some moves if they want to get anything on the board, because Collingwood look very settled.
Umpire Snedden at his centre wing position. We'll be looking here for the bounce. It's Fellows in the front position. Clark gets the ball down to the ground. Fellows comes out with it. Hasn't got the hair dyed orange this year, which is a change. And we've got Jimmy Jess with the ball on the wing position. The Ghost boots it long. Pack of players down there. The tap on. The chance for Hogg. Tries to kick it off the ground. Lee overruns the ball. The umpire comes in to be a free kick to Collingwood. Abernethy passes it back. Back to Phillips. Greg Phillips, solidly built defender from South Australia, centres the ball nicely. They're away. Sumner, long drop punt pass. He's looking for Williams. Can't quite take it. It's Cloak with the ball. Cloak lines up from 45 metres out offline. Through for a behind.
Well, there you go, Stephen. That's 4 shots for goal, and those last 2 shots could easily have been goals, except for inaccurate kicking. Collingwood now 2 goals, 14 points, with Richmond yet to open their account at the 7.5 minute mark of this quarter, as we see the kick out being taken there by Ryan. The ball drops to the ground, scooped up. Elects to play on. That's number 39, the Smith. Smith now gets the ball across over to the centre wing position.
To Poole.
Poole dropping the ball back in over to the centre of the ground. The players fly for it. Oh, Lee nearly tried to take a mark. They couldn't quite bring the ball down. It goes to the ground. Collingwood players diving in everywhere. No one can quite get to it. Here's Bradbury for his first touch for the year with Collingwood. Didn't sort of shape up too well the other day, apparently. Down on the ground now, looking for someone. What's he doing? Trying to run around the pack. Taylor drops the ball onto the boot, sets them up, and drops a beautiful goal straight through the centre to put his second goal on the board, and a third goal also for Collingwood, taking them to 3 goals, 20 points. Richmond yet to open their account, and that was a magnificent goal, wasn't it?
All the time in the world to Brian Taylor, and young Des Ryan, who played at full-back on Warwick Kappa last week and had 8 goals kicked on him before he was moved into the last quarter, has got another very tough assignment today. Brian Taylor, using his pace, his experience, runs around and puts through his second goal. Pro football scoreboard here at the MCG. We've got Collingwood 20. They're 3 goals to Richmond, yet to open their account. We've been playing 9 minutes into the term. Ball back in the centre of the ground. The ruckman coming in. It'll be Clark against Fellows. Fellows it is who gets the tap down to shore. The hand pass across to Dacos. Dacos out like a flash, looking for his skipper, Williams. How easy is that? Mercurial play by Dacos. Williams with a chance to put goal number 4 for Collingwood on the board in the first 10 minutes. He's less than 50 metres out. That white line there, the parallel lines there, you can see the white line closest to goal is the 50-metre line. I'd say he's about 45 to maybe 50 metres out, considering the angle. The drop punt straight through the middle. The goal umpire doesn't move. Goal number 4 to Collingwood. They move to 4 goals 2. They're 26. And Richmond yet to score. A very disappointing opening by the Tigers here at the MCG.
Yes, I think Tony Gill must have a lot of faith in young Ryan to leave him there. Already Ryan has been caught. I know he's up against a very experienced player in Taylor, but nonetheless, Ryan, I think he's going to have to keep a little bit closer to him if he's going to stop him from getting away on those leads.
Well, there's a couple of awkward positional changes. The Tigers' defence was fairly poor last year. Jess is the key at centre-half back, obviously on Cloak, and really they haven't got anyone else to play at full-back. At this stage, I think they'd be robbing Peter to pay Paul, but they've got Lee in the ruck now, and he gets the tap out straight away. It's Jess who's under it. He'll take the mark. He doesn't miss many of those. Now, Jess is steadying play down. He'll go for the long drop punt, and it's a beauty. He's looking for Lee. Ball punched to the ground. Eustace coming through. He can't pick it up. Poole back to Eustace. Eustace goes wide. Chance here for the Tigers. It's Pickering in the front position, and Pickering takes the mark. Pickering a matter of 45 metres out. He's easy to pick out. He's got the socks down. 5, as I said last week. He'll look for the short pass. He's gone for the flea. Finds him. And Dale Waitman made up 35 yards. But Waitman, usually a pretty accurate kick. Coming in will put Richmond's first score on the board. It'll be the drop punt. Swings around. Might not make the distance. Off the hands of Billy Pickham, through for a behind. The Collingwood veteran hands the ball over. Smith it is with the ball there. Is it Abernethy? Bit hard to pick out there from this distance. Abernethy with a pass in. Looking from the lane. Lovely pass too. Right on the chest. The hand pass across. Magpies into attack. Gayfer it was. Across to Aber again. Abernethy, the high drop punt. The big leap. No mark. Taken away that time. Smith has the ball taken off him. Francis ignores the lead from Ryan. Sends it wide, looking for Anir. Anir on Smith. Smith nudges it towards the boundary line. Clever play. Delaying tactics. Had no one to kick it to. Throw in at the 11.5-minute mark of the first quarter.
Collingwood full of running at the moment, Steve. I noticed that they've really got their leaving the Richmond players certainly down and behind as the ball is thrown in. Players setting themselves up to try and scoop up to the ball. No one can quite get to it. Now it's picked up. Scooping around to the left foot looking for someone. Couldn't quite get to it. Bad kick. Handball over the pack. No one can quite get to that either. Now she's down on the ground. Now we're looking a bit dangerous again. And as Collingwood set themselves up there, driving the ball down, no one can quite go for it. Ryan again late onto the scene, can't quite get to it. Taylor having nothing to do with that at all. And the ball has gone over the line.
They look very disorganised down there at the moment, Richmond. That could well have been a goal as Jimmy Jess hands the ball back. Could have been a goal to Collingwood then. Just some very poor play, very loose play from the Richmond defence. See the ball punched down there by Des Ryan towards the boundary line, and Russell Dixon, number 19, running in there, but he's too late, and we'll have the throw in. Forward pocket for Collingwood. It's been a very impressive opening by Lee Matthews' team today. 4 goals to 26. They lead the Tigers. It's Cloak. Ball smothered. Anir looks for the hand pass over to Ryan. Ryan gets around one opponent. Back to Anir on the left foot. Smothered. Scrappy play down there, Tigers. And the umpire will come in and bounce in the forward pocket. They're not doing too many things right down there in defence at the moment. And they've paid the penalty on the board. Jess uses his body. That was Morwood, number 7. Williams, number 21 in there. The Collingwood skipper has a word or two to the boundary umpire. Wait for the throw-in again. We're about 25 metres around from the behind post, outer side of the ground. Jess at the back, but it's Cloak who gets the ball down to Morwood. He can't get rid of it. Tigers away through Landy on the left foot. Goes into the centre of the ground. Poor kick. Poorly directioned, and Magpies back in again. Number 44 is
Kerrison.
Shane Kerrison. He puts it up looking for Taylor. Punched down by Ryan. Ryan again, he fumbles. Under plenty of pressure. It's Taylor, handballs the ball to the ground. The umpire will say out of bounds, and we'll have a throw in again.
Well, we're sitting at the 14-minute mark. 4 goals, 26 points Collingwood. Richmond 1 point. The ball is thrown in. Players set themselves. Cloak, Jess. Cloak, a lovely tap out over the back of the pack. No one can quite get to it. Ball now, Landy trying hard to get to it, but he's dropped the ball. It's been picked up. And I think to get his first touch for the day is young Ryan. Ball's on the ground. Nobody can get to it. Players pulling and tagging at each other there. Mullane. Burton. Umpire chooses to bounce the ball.
Rowan Sawyers it is who's putting it down in the forward pocket. Jess up against Cloak again. The ball over the line for another throw-in. Pretty scrappy play. Not a great start to the match for the football purists, but Collingwood with a score on the board, and they'd be more than happy to have those 4 goals in these reasonably heavy conditions.
I think Collingwood's pretty pleased to have got this run on them, and I think they've caught Richmond pretty flat-footed. I don't think Richmond know what hit them yet. Collingwood's full of running still, as we see the ball picked up by Dixon. Dixon drops onto the right boot and sends it down to the goal square with Taylor and Ryan. Ryan was all over him then, but the umpire's called play on. Ryan drops the ball in the left boot, now sends it down to the half-forward flank there. He finds McMullen. McMullen, who's come onto the ground now,
Bauer.
back up to
Bauer
Poole.
of Richmond it was.
Right, beg your pardon. Over to Poole. Poole now drops it down, looking for a lead. Lee was running and couldn't quite get to the ball. Collingwood players everywhere now, as we see the ball picked up and handballed out. As you can hear the crowd applauding for that one. Lovely mark taken down the wing position. Driving the ball down.
For why?
Yes.
Billy Picken.
Yeah. Oh, Billy, their favourite man. Ball down on the ground. Scooped up. Driven back down into the centre. No one can quite get to it. And a steady mark there by Siao. Big Siao drops the ball. Shocking kick, but luckily for him, he finds a lead. It looks like Morwood. Moore drops the ball down to centre forward position. And who's that playing in front? I couldn't quite pick it up, but he deserves to get that mark anyway.
Looks like Tony Shaw to me.
Sure does. That familiar-looking build. So Tony Shaw, his chance to put his first goal on the board for Collingwood. I'm sure he'll be in the thick of things for the rest of the day too. He looks like he's ready to be pretty busy, taking his time. Ball's on its way. Umpire's moving across. Looks pretty good. No, 1 point. Well, there's a chance. Anyway, now we have a look at the scoreboard at the 16.5-minute mark here on the Pro Football scoreboard. Collingwood 4 goals, 327. Richmond 1 point as the ball is kicked out by Ryan, and just as well that was touched before it went over the line.
No, out of bounds on the full. Bad mistake.
The umpire has actually called that as a push in the back. And a free kick now going to Anir.
Well, it should have been out of bounds on the full.
Yeah, I would have thought so too, but the umpire must have picked up the push in the back before he put his boot to it.
Anir into the centre of the ground. And now Collingwood, they're everywhere at the moment as we see Morwood tap on. Could have been a throw. Push in the back then by Bauer. They're away Kerrison with a long hand pass across. Some tiggy-touch good stuff in the middle there. Magpies in towards Shaw, over his head. Coming out is Francis with a short pass. He's looking for the flea, and Dale Waitman catches one right around the ear from Danny Siao. He's down and not looking all that flash. The umpire is going to blow the whistle and leave the flea rolling around there on the ground. Mark Eustace with the ball. Flea's up. He's away. Wally Eustace with the ball in the centre of the ground. Drop punt pass. He's looking for Michael Roach. Roach, lovely attempt. Nice juggling try. It's Silly Billy. Billy Picken. Back over to Dacos. Dacos, isn't he back full of running? Some fine individual performances last week against Hawthorn. Out there to flank Jamie Turner in front. Craig Smith. Turner still battling away there. Bradbury out there under all that. The umpire's found a free kick. He's giving it to the former Essendon defender, Peter Bradbury. Bradbury centre wing position. He's on the left foot. The drop punt pass. And how about that for a nice easy mark? David Cloak. He's taken plenty for Richmond over the years. And he's back showing plenty for the Magpies today. The drop punt, it's a long one. Offline again, Clokey through for a behind. That takes the Pro Football scoreboard. Collingwood are 4-4-28. The Tigers one solitary behind the margin, 27 points, 19 minutes into the first quarter. And David Cloak with 2 behinds on the board. Mark Eustace just having a word or say there to Williams. Eustace, the drop punt around the, looking for Pickering on the wing position, has it tapped away. Siao can't pick it up, does this time on the left foot. The pass is astray, out of bounds on the full. It'll be Graham Landy who takes the free kick.
Yes, Siao, he had the opportunity then, but just poor kicking as Landy drops the ball down now to the centre wing position. Lee coming in from a late start to try and get hold of the ball there. No one can quite take it, but the umpire's found a free kick. Just pick up who that's
Hogg.
going to. Looks like Hogg, who nicely sandwiched down there. He elects to play on and passes the ball over to Walsh. Walsh drops it down to the centre half forward position. No one can take the mark. Over the back of the pack is Francis running into an open goal. Has he got a chance to put it through the middle? No, it's offline. And through for 1 point. It was a big chance for Richmond there to get their first goal on the board, but poor kicking by Francis. That takes Richmond's score now to 2 points at just on the 19.5-minute mark of this first quarter here at the MCG. Collingwood in front by 26 points. Kick out. Looking for someone. There's a big lead. Players running. A lovely mark taken there. Looked like Mullane, was it? Mullane drives the ball down to the centre wing position there. Taken by Kerrison. Kerrison elects to play on. Can't quite get the ball to the players. The ball has gone over the line. And it'll be just taken in for a throw-in from just on the forward flank position near the 50-metre line. Ball being thrown in. Players setting themselves. Jess and Cloak. Cloak gets the tap out. Ball down to the ground. Can't quite get rid of it. Breaking out of the pack here. I can't quite see who it was. Right, a lovely mark there taken by Bauer. Yes, this is the guy I got confused before. Bauer drops the ball down to Eustace. Eustace plays on. Oh, he's been heavily tackled, but just managed to get rid of the ball in time. Picking up the ball, having a lovely shot for goal and putting it through the centre was Dale Waitman. Yes, so just having a little look at that fella, and after being knocked to the ground before, he did that quite nicely. So there's a first score on the board for Richmond, their first goal. Now at the 20 or 21-minute mark of this pro football game here, Richmond 1 goal to 8 points. Collingwood 4 goals, 4-28, a lead of 20 points. In fact, we're just having a look at the replay now, and a lovely goal threaded straight through the middle, and a well-needed goal too for Richmond. Certainly needed to get some sort of a score on the board after Collingwood have come out full of running and certainly got the wood on them at this stage.
We've got Lee back in the centre against Fellows. Pools on Dacos. That'll be a good tussle during the afternoon. No one can quite get the ball away. Tapped up again, just like volleyball there in the centre. The ghost Jimmy Jess comes through. He's caught by Cloak. The umpire says it's holding the man. He got rid of it in the prescribed manner. And Jimmy Jess handballs. They're away. Tigers off the half-back line, going out wide. Eustace is out there. Danny Siao in the front position. Tap on. Morwood with the ball. Round on the left foot. He's thumped as he gets rid of the ball. Walsh underneath it. Man in front with a mark. It'll be a Collingwood mark, and it will be taken by Jamie Turner. He's about, considering the angle, about 55 metres out. Looking for Taylor up forward or Cloak. Taylor in the front position. The tap on. Lovely play over to Williams. Screws it around. Jimmy Jess under it. He's prepared to watch it go through for a behind. Williams with 1-2 on the board. Collingwood 4-5-29, lead by 21 points as we approach the 22-minute mark of the first quarter.
Bit of inaccurate kicking there. Has let them off the hook, Richmond, hasn't it?
It has indeed. Anier with a punch towards the boundary line will have a throw in.
While we're waiting for that throw in, we'd better say hello to a few of our friends and viewers out there in some of these hotels who've been asked to say hello to the new owners of the Parrot Hotel in Darwin. Good on you, Jerry and Debbie, the new owners. I hope you do well, and hello to all the people watching up there.
Collingwood back into attack, offline again, and that's out of bounds on the full. It'll be Des Ryan to put the ball back into play. Or through for a behind, sorry. Very awkward to tell then. The umpire running across and appearing to signal out of bounds on the full. Des Ryan looking for someone to kick into. Lovely looking pass over to Johnny Anier. Anier left by himself can be a dangerous player. He's looking for Francis. Finds him. Francis dummies the handball to Walsh. Comes back. He's going straight down the middle. It's the only way to go. Looking for Pickering in the front position. Can't take it. Couple of Tigers here. Here's the chance. Could be in the back. The umpire says play on. Kerrison with the handball across to Siao. Siao's off. Bit of a tussle behind play. Ball in the centre. Tony Shaw it is with the mark. Shaw, woeful looking kick. Taylor's 15 yards in front of Ryan. He swings around onto the left foot, back onto the right, looks for the pass and finds, looks like Morwood. Shane Morwood, is it? He's about...
I think so. It could have been Phillips.
No, it is Shane Morwood. 35 metres out. Slight angle. Good play by Taylor. He's proving too much of a handful for young Des Ryan. Comes in. Usually a pretty good kick, and nothing wrong with that one. Another goal to the Magpies. They move to 5-6. 36. 28 points ahead of Richmond, who've had a very ordinary start indeed. And you see Taylor, the way he comes out, he's too far in front of Ryan. He's got that little touch of pace, gets the ball across to Morwood, and that's where the damage is done.
Yes, it was very good football too, because he actually had the lead coming through from Morwood, who was running through. Richmond were standing flat-footed again and left it far too easy for them to score that goal. But that's the way the game has been shaping up for this last 24.5 minutes, and I'm sure that's the way the game will continue until Richmond can do something about it. The whistle has gone at the bounce up, and they found a free kick there for an infringement. That's going to be taken by Fellows. Fellows drops the ball onto the left foot, sinks a big kick down into the centre-half forward position. Players flying everywhere. No one can quite take the mark. Played in the front of the pack there. The ball's dropped to the ground, picked up by a Richmond player in Francis. Francis can't do anything. It's a lovely little bit of scooping out. Oh, intercepted beautifully by Morwood. Morwood now drops the ball, can't quite get to it. Ryan fumbles the ball. Taylor again ducks out of the pack, buries his head, drops the ball under the boot. The crowd's pretty pleased. I'm pretty pleased, and there's a good goal. A beautiful goal to Taylor. That takes him 4 goals now, Taylor. Taking the scoreboard on to... Is that...
3 goals to Taylor.
Is it to Taylor? I must have given him an extra one. Getting a bit carried away with that poor bloke. Collingwood are looking pretty good at the moment. 6 goals, 6:42. Richmond 1 goal, 8 points at the 25-minute mark.
The intercept by Morwood was the thing that set it up, and then the fumble by Ryan, which was the bad one. Taylor has time to double back, get his head under, swing it round. He's got plenty of strength in those big legs. Just swings the ball straight through for his 3rd goal. And the 34-point margin at the 25-minute mark is a very big start. Mark Lee in the centre. The Tigers can't get it out of the middle. It's Eustace who's trapped. Ball back into Collingwood's attacking zone. It's Turner. Gets the ball back to Morwood, who's having a good first quarter. The umpire will come in and bounce. Great start by the Magpies. Haven't seen them this fired up for some time. They played a very ordinary game last week against Hawthorn. Clark in the ruck. It's Fellows who uses his weight. Just too much, says the umpire. And young Clark it is, the former under-19 ruckman, who'll take the free kick in the centre of the ground. Long drop punt. Collingwood defenders playing in front of their men. Pickering pushed in the back. The umpire says play on. Bauer in there. He can't get it out. Eustace is too. Finally, Siao is lying on top of the ball. Here's the opportunity now as Anir puts it up, looking for Roach in the front position. The disco's taken the mark. He's 30 yards out. There's been a report back up the field. A silly report. Dale Waitman has been reported for flattening a Collingwood player, Kerrison. I would say that might have cost Richmond a goal because Roach was only a matter of yards out. And Dale Waitman, last year's Tassie medalist, All-Australian rover, has had his number taken for striking Shane Kerrison, blonde-headed player from Collingwood. And the trainers rushing in. The umpire with the notebook is Rowan Sawyers, and the free kick will be given. Tony Shaw just talking to him there.
I think you'll have a very disappointed Roach at the moment, wondering what's going to happen at this stage. He had that mark. Luke said he might be able to get a goal. I think he won't be too happy about that at all.
He knew exactly what was going to happen.
Yep, and there's the kick to Kerrison. Kerrison takes the ball now and gives a big boot as he drops back into the trainers for a clean-up. The players fly for it. Jess couldn't quite take the mark. Clark picks it up. Handballs it across to Fellows. Fellows then sinks a big high kick into the air, and just before it drops over the line and out of bounds, and the full was a young player there in Dixon trying to stop it. So the umpire going to throw the ball in at the forward flank position.
Young Clark. Cloak getting in front. It's Williams who jumps over the top, tries to get his kick away. Jess with the very hurried kick towards the boundary line. The tap-on's a beauty. Over to Shaw. Shaw looking for Taylor. The sun's in his eyes. Des Ryan comes through. So too does Landy. Landy gets the bounce. The left foot pass up here. Looking for Francis. Francis has got the ball. Plenty of time to get rid of it, but he punches it straight to Siao, who taps it on. Collingwood looking good. They're back into attack. It's Smith who gets the ball up forward. 3 Magpie defenders there, Richmond defenders, and Craig Smith with the ball on the left foot. Goes for the pass. and it's a nice pass too. The umpire coming in and say, come on, let him go. The hand pass from Bauer is on. Ryan on the left foot. Had some big jobs in the last couple of weeks. Kappa and now Taylor. Free kick to Richmond. The Tigers desperately need a goal. 1-2-8. Collingwood 6-6-42. Running around on the mark. Pickering, very skilled player. The tap on. Here's a chance. Bauer on the left foot. No, goes for the hand pass. He's in that wicket area. Pickering again. Looks for the pass over there, but it's Mullane running through, and the Magpie defence ever so cool. Billy Pickett with the left, the pass out here, looking for Morwood, and Morwood in front takes the mark. Too strong on that occasion, and silly play then by Peter Zakarski. Ball across there to Abernethy. Abernethy over to the centre of the ground. Tony Shaw all by himself. Dale Waitman too slow to catch up then, and he's hurried, pushed out of the way, looking for Cloak. Cloak in the front position, can't quite take it first grab. The tap's a beauty over to Williams. The umpire says push in the back. Mark Williams, the Collingwood skipper, will take the free kick. He's kicked 1 goal, 2. The distance will be a worry. The ball's a bit heavy, so's the ground.
There's been a position change too. I noticed they've moved Ryan, is now covering Cloak, and Jess has dropped back down there to pick up Taylor. I think it's only a matter of time before that had to happen. The poor fella talking about getting a bath.
Well, there's a siren for quarter time, and Mark Williams is a matter of 50 metres out. You can see the white line. Go for the torpedo or the drop punt. The drop punt, it's a pretty good looking kick, swinging around at the last minute. Cloak uses his body, push in the back, there'll be no score. 6-6-42, and Richmond 1-2-8. That's the score at quarter time on the Pro Football scoreboard. Play getting underway in the second quarter in the Pro Football match of the day at the MCG. Collingwood 6-6-42, Richmond 1-2-8. It's Fellows who gets the tap down to Smith. They're straight back into attack, the Maggies. And Burton, however, right there on the 50-metre line, takes the mark, gets it straight across to John Annear. He's in front of Bradbury on this occasion, goes for the long hand pass, finds Poole. Poole dummies the hand pass, elects to send it into centre half forward. The tap on. Mark Lee's in there, he overruns the ball. Picked up well that time by Bauer. I don't think he quite expected to mark it quite in the breadbasket like that. In fact, I think he might be a very sore boy around the front of the shorts region.
Yes,
and the umpire will come in and bounce his ball.
That's his one ball he didn't want, is it?
The tap down. Dacos comes out with the ball. Wing position. Oh, overrunning the ball in Richmond's Des Ryan. Out from centre half back. Zakarski. The dummy then across from Eustace. Over to Burton. That's a better looking kick. Into the gap. There's the mark to Pickering. Pickering 35 to 40 metre, or looking for the pass 35 to 40 metres out. And some pretty heavy-handed stuff down there. And looks like Johnny Manton with the ball. Now Manton's, as I said, 30 yards out from goal, 30 metres out. He's on a slight angle. Pickering's pass hit him fair and square on the chest, and he got collected on the way through. But Manton now lines up, drop punt, straight through the middle, and that's Richmond's second goal. And came with a 1 minute 45 mark of the second quarter. They're still trailing by 28 points.
Well, Richmond looking a lot better. I'm sure that Tony Gill would have given a hell of a bake out there at quarter time. We were having a bit of a look, and he was giving a real payout. So they need a lot. They need to lift the game a hell of a lot if they're going to get back into this. And that's just a bit of an indication of how good it was. I'm just looking now at the replay where we see the beautiful pass to Manton before he dropped that goal. Umpire bounces the ball. The players set themselves. Fellows trying to get the tap out there, but the ball's gone to the ground. Hand pass beautifully back to Fellows, who taps the ball on by Williams. No one can quite get to it, but the umpire's found a free kick, and Williams is going to go back.
Rumble from the crowd then. They're saying, why not the advantage? But it's Mark Williams who's inside the centre square. That line you see there, centre square, the 50-metre line, in case you've just joined in our Pro Football match of the day. A new addition to the MCG, the big towering torpedo. And a lovely mark taken over the back by Taylor. Jess in the front position, couldn't quite reach it. Taylor, those big hands, is coming straight over the top. One of the marks of the day. Fingertip job. And Brian Taylor has kicked 3 goals. Settles. You can see the angle there. kicking out of the shadows. Deliberate. The drop punt. Offline through for a behind. Taylor, 3 goals 1. Collingwood, 6 goals 7. Richmond, 2 goals 2. The margin now 29 points. Waiting for the ghost, Jimmy Jess. The power of the football back into play. He'll go straight down the middle. And it's a big drop punt. Over the 50-metre, over the 60-metre line. And the Tigers away through Eustace into the centre of the ground. That's better looking play. Hogg. Oh, Roach goes over. Xiao takes the mark. Billy Picken with the play on. Over to Shaw. Good play, Maggies. They're slowing things down now, looking for the lead up forward. It comes from Morwood. He takes the mark. In front of Pickering. He's off. So in front of Sikowski, that was. The tap down. Here's the chance again for the Magpies. They're in their forward zone. The umpire will come in and pay the free kick. It will go to Richmond. And it looks as though it might be Craig Smith with the ball.
Craig Smith, yes, just drops that ball over to, we're looking for a player there who's just trying very hard to stay standing. That player now is, I just missed a bit of what was going on. I was watching to see what was happening. Anyway, the ball's been picked up. Jess has rumped in front, picked up the ball and taken a mark.
Well, what happened was the ball got over in that practice wicket area and the players were slipping and sliding. It's Jess who's gone wide, looks for the pass out there. It was a lovely kick too. And under the ball there was Poole. And the umpires found a free kick. And a little bit of dissatisfaction there. But Poole comes out with the ball. One of the most impressive youngsters in the VFL at the moment. He goes out wide looking for Ryan. Long kick. Front position taken by Francis. Sore on the top, are we, Pete? Gives it a bit of a touch and another touch along. It's still there. He's about 45 to 50 metres out. Takes his time, has a good look around. This will be goal number 1 for Francis, should he thread it. And Richmond's third, and they need it urgently. Must be the scoring end. Francis, it's a nice looking kick across the front of goals. Tapped over the boundary line. Just at the last minute, we'll have a throw in a metre around from the goal.
Yeah, Richmond cannot afford to have inaccurate kicking, but nonetheless there's a chance for them to convert this one for a goal with the tap in. Umpire throwing the ball in, players up there. Lee couldn't quite get it. Collingwood player there, couldn't quite pick up who it was, but the umpires decided that he's found a free kick, and that free kick will go to
Phillips.
Is it Phillips?
Yes.
Phillips now, being given an extra 15-metre penalty too, drops the ball under the boot, sends it down to the wing position. Leading out there was Cloak, who took a lovely mark. He's trying to see what he can organise here. He was looking to have a bit of a play on too.
Ryan's playing behind, and he's a hard man to get around, all 15.5 stone of him, David Cloak.
Yes, David Cloak dropped the ball in there. Jess couldn't quite get hold of the ball in. Players dropping to the ground, tapped out beautifully. 3 Richmond players trying to get hold of the ball now. Francis looking for it, so is Eustace. Eustace scoops the ball up, handballs it through. Coming in to tap it on beautifully there was Ryan. Ryan now, down in the centre of the play there, all over the place. Nobody can do much about it. Hogg gets the free kick, and he goes back and drops it onto the boot. He's looking for someone there, can't quite pick it up. Oh, gee, a mark was almost taken. Could have been in the back. The umpires elected to call play on. Ball down on the ground. Kerrison can't quite do anything as he tried to scoop it off the ground. Xiao trying to go after it. Nobody can do anything about it.
Oh,
Ball dropped to the boot by
himself.
Manton.
Here we go.
Poole by himself. That is exactly right. Drops it onto the boot. Has a look. No one in the goal square. Will it bounce through? No, it's bounced the wrong way. Unfortunate for Poole. And there's a point on the board for Richmond. That's their first score for the day too, in this quarter I should say. Richmond 2 goals, 3-15, trailing Collingwood 6 goals, 7-43 at the 7.25 minute mark of the second quarter here in the pro football game in the MCG. By the way, as we see the ball kicked out and going over bounce, the crowd's still filling up. Closer to 40,000 now, I'd say too, Steve.
Yeah, don't forget we omitted that Manton did kick a goal, so Richmond have done reasonably well this quarter. Down the ball on the ground now, Abernethy in the front position, goes for the hand pass over the top to Picken. Picken puts it straight onto the boot and straight over the line. Mark Eustace runs in. The hand pass out there. Manton, the goal kicker earlier in the quarter, lines them up, looking for Roach at the back, playing from behind, and quite content to run it through is Greg Smith. And another behind to Richmond. They move to 2-4-16. They're still 27 points down on Collingwood, who aren't doing a lot this quarter. They've kicked 1 point. Richmond have kicked 1-2.
Yes, I was just not used to seeing Richmond kicking goals and thought that might happen in the first quarter, that goal by Mandan. I forgot all about that. Apologies to everybody.
There's a chance again, Francis. Oh, he traps the ball nicely on the left foot. Kicks it high. Rainmaker. 2 down. Poole's in the front position. So too's Waitman. No one can pick it up. It's got a bit greasy. Magpie defence through Phillips. Ever so cool. Out wide. Burton's in the front position. McMullen hot on his tail. McMullen, clever, skilled play. He loses the ball though. It's Eustace comes through, swings it back in. Manton here on the left foot, swings out on the right foot. Goes for Roach, is it? Or Pickering? Doesn't matter. Pickering with the ball. Hand passes over to Anir. They're away. Bad kick. Offline. Another point. And Richmond wasting opportunities. The pass was on in the goal square to Bauer. He decided to go for the goal himself. And greedy play perhaps from John Anir, but in the heat of the moment, he's probably thought he's done the right thing. Bradbury with the kick in, looking for Fellows. Lovely pass. Big Wes swings around on the left foot. Soaring big drop punt into the centre of the ground, looking for Cloak. 3 Richmond players here. Here's the chance now as the ball goes out wide from Smith. Over to Francis, playing a very good game today. Francis's pass. He's looking for Roach. Morris Rioli on the ground. Big cheer from the crowd. Roach swings it round, looking for Manton. Will the bounce help him? It won't. Good tackle by Johnny Manton. Collingwood clearing Rioli in the picture for the first time. Goes for the smother. He'll be short of match practice. Hasn't played any of the 8 games. Ball out of bounds in front of the interchange bench here at the MCG. And we've been playing 10 minutes into this second quarter.
Interesting that Rioli's got number 27 and not 17, Steve.
He wanted a fresh change. Number 17 was Richmond's most famous number, worn by Jack Dyer, Captain Blood, by Barry Richardson, by Butch Edwards and Morris Rioli. And a little bit of sauce there on his face there, I think, on Kerrison's face. And Dale Waitman, it is who has the kick. He's looking for Manton, can't find him. Dacos, Mr. Magic, look at him. The beautiful disposal, looking for Williams. Williams on top of the ball now. The umpire will come in and bounce.
Yes, that was almost a good grab there too, as we saw Landing trying to get up there and get his hands onto the ball, but nonetheless the umpire has decided to bounce it up. It's a bit scrambly. Richmond desperately wanting to get another goal to keep within touch of this game as the ball is tapped out there, pushed along the ground. No one can quite get to it. Trying to scoop the ball up was McMullen. McMullen, who's come onto the ground now. Oh, gee, the umpire will have to find a free kick for holding the man there. Yes, no doubt about it, and Williams will pick up another kick. He's within scoring distance, but he'll probably look to have a shot. There's a couple of leads.
I think you'll go
Dropped
for
it
Taylor.
across to the centre half forward and couldn't quite get up the mark was Taylor. He flew pretty high, kicked off the ground in towards the centre. Manton in after it, couldn't quite get to the ball, picked up, he dropped it. Just tackling, Rioli in there. Ball cleared by Collingwood down to their forward flank position. Nobody can quite get to it.
It's Cloak.
It looks like Cloak, who's dropped around onto the right foot. He's found where the goals were. He's dropped it right onto his boot and put it straight through the centre. Cloak didn't really know which way to turn then, but he certainly kept it off with a fine goal for the Maggies. So Collingwood 7 goals, 7-49. Leading Richmond 2 goals, 5-17. That's a 32-point lead at the 11.5-minute mark of the second quarter here. And that was a good goal. Happened to be in the right place at the right time as well, perhaps, but
well,
boy, gee, the
play
Richmond
by
defence.
Ryan,
yes,
young Ryan is finding Cloak. He found Taylor a handful. Now he's finding Cloak a real handful. Ball thumped down then. It looked like Disco Roach then. He's in the ruck. Abernethy, a long kick. He's looking for Taylor too. Taylor bursting through. Cloak in the front position. Taylor's hand pass comes out to McMullen. Usually a pretty good kick for goal. He is again. That's their 8th goal. Ian McMullen's first. And they're giving the Tigers a nice old bath here at the MCG at the moment. Looking at it on the replay. Taylor comes out, can't take the mark. He's got great hands, picks the ball up, fires it across to McMullen, and McMullen makes no mistake, slides it through for Collingwood's 8th goal. The margin now is 38 points. Back in the centre of the ground, Michael Roach on the ball. Try and warm him up. Hasn't had a sniff down there at full forward yet. It'll be Roach against Wes Fellows. 2 big high flyers. Rioli's in the centre. Rioli burrowing in there, can't get at the ball that time. Poole goes through, knocks him over. Morris is in there trying to get a kick. Francis kicks it high. Smith under the ball. Drop mark. Terry Smith, I should say Greg Smith. Smith's everywhere. Push in the back. The umpire says, play on. Out here, Michael Roach playing on the ball. Started his career as a wingman after coming over from Tasmania. The long pass, not a good one. Danny Siao in the front position. The ball will beat him over the line. Good play, Michael Roach. Had no one to kick it to. Elected to aim at the boundary.
And that's fairly typical of the style of game where there was no one to kick it to and there was plenty of time for someone to make position. Richmond really just a little bit rattled at this stage. They made a few moves to try and bring around a little bit of drive into the game as the ball is tapped down. Wes Fellows breaks out of the pack, handballs beautifully, couldn't quite get onto that ball, and Smith picks it up, drops the ball down to the centre, scooped up by Bradbury. Bradbury handballs across to Phillips. Phillips drops the ball down to centre half forward. Who's up there trying to take the mark?
Williams it was.
Williams it was. He couldn't quite get to it, but he's off chasing the ball, trying his hardest there to play Landy. It's been scooped up again now. Dropped back onto the left foot. Is anyone there? No one can quite take the mark. Over the pack of the players. Jess trying to get hold of the ball. Interfered. Francis couldn't quite do anything. The umpire had to do that. It was too high. It was a silly thing to do.
It was silly of Francis to jump in then because Jess had the run of the ball.
Yes.
Was powering down. Francis was very lucky to come out of the with a free kick.
Now he slipped over as he's called play on.
Gets out of it again.
He'd be glad that incident's all over as he dropped the ball down to the wing position, but a safe mark taken by David Cloak. He'll have a look around to steady things down a bit. Drops the big boot into the ball there. Driving high kick. No one can quite take the mark. An attempted look at a free kick, and yes, Jess will pick that one up. Well, a bit of staging, I think, from our angle, but
well, I don't think so. I think that both the Collingwood forwards, in effect Taylor and Cloak, have both been using their body. It's worked well on the slender Ryan, but Jess is too experienced. He gets in the front position. There'll be a mark or a free kick here. And coming out with the ball is Bruce Abernethy. Now let's pick up Tony Shaw has been on Rioli there. Rioli left by himself in the centre of the ground as Abernethy goes up for Jess in the front, Roach in the front position. Be another free kick. As I said, Taylor using the body, 15-metre penalty. Silly play, Brian Taylor. You've kicked 3 goals, you're too experienced for that. Michael Roach, a walloping big kick. Phillips in the front position takes the one-hander if you don't mind.
Yeah, that was a lovely mark too, and he's playing on. Kick now. Who can get to the ball?
Roach.
Roach again, screaming down the ground. He's looking pretty fit today too. Drops the ball again out the middle of nowhere. There's anyone that can really get to the ball there, except Lee was doing his best to try and get a handball across. Lee comes back in, taps it back into the middle of the pack. Players can't do anything.
Well,
umpire's called play on. That's an unusual bit of football there.
David Cloak just flattened Mark Lee.
Yes, he went down like a hammer, didn't he? So there we go, and he dropped that ball in, and we see that mark is now being picked up there. Looks like, is it? Can't quite
Walsh.
Is it Walsh? Yes, it is Walsh. Walsh drives the ball down there, looking for the lead. No one can quite get to it. Beautiful bit of back work there.
Danny Siao out to Bradbury. Bradbury breaks the tackle, round on the left foot, kicks it high. He's looking for Williams in that practice wicket area. Slippery old spot out there on the ground. Play on. Williams, big Jocko looking in there for Taylor. Oh, McMullen overruns the ball. That was a certain goal if he could get to it. Forward. And Burton takes the mark. Plays on straight away. Sees the loose man up there. Walsh with a hand pass across to Anir. Johnny Anir in the centre of the ground. The Tigers looking a lot better. He's looking for Mark Lee. He's pushed out of the way by Bill Picken. Ridden to the ground. The umpire says, yes, there'll be a free kick. It will go Collingwood's way. And if we can get a close-up there of Mark Lee's face, I don't know whether that's blood under the eye, just to the right of screen a little. But he looks as though he's been given a fair wallop around the right eye there.
Yeah, it does too. It could be a bit of mud, but now the ball has dropped to the ground. This looks like it's Cherkassky trying to get hold of it. Couldn't quite do it. Beautifully intercepted there. Was a young fella in Mullane who ran to the boundary. It was a nice bit of interception, but the ball has gone over the line, so we'll be waiting for another throw-in. On the Collingwood attacking forward flank position.
Great smother then by Mullane. That's what football's all about in these conditions.
Absolutely. He's desperate, and that's the whole thing of Collingwood. They are desperate today. They want to do good things as Clark picks the ball and handballs it through. The kick now driven into the centre of the ground, and who's that underneath and taking a nice safe mark? Oh no, the umpire really must do something. Rioli in a little bit of trouble there. And he doesn't like that's a bit ridiculous. He's reported Manton for charging, I'm sure. And yet Smith had taken the mark, and I didn't seem to think that there was much of a heavy charge. That will get off for sure. It remains to be seen, but I just think that is a bit silly. A
Second Richmond player reported. Waitman, of course, reported for striking Shane Kerrison in the first quarter. Manton reported, as you saw just a second ago. Greg Phillips with the ball in the centre of the ground. Umpire Snedden, probably his first report in league football, and he's given the penalty as well. The pass out wide. Williams with all the time, punches the ball to the ground as he's supposed to do. He's ridden to the ground, Eustace in there. Williams comes out with the ball, clever play, scoops it out. Abernethy one-handed hand pass onto Kerrison. Kerrison across to Cloak. Cloak with a short pass over to Tony Shaw. They're away to Magpies and firing, looking for Taylor. He's 10 feet in front of Jess, takes the mark. A chance for Collingwood's 9th goal and Brian Taylor's 4th.
Yeah, that was a nice little bit of leading. The ball didn't have to travel too far. It was Taylor had good 10 yards on Chess, who, since he's been moved on to Taylor, has been trying to keep a very tight rein on him, but just have to only lose concentration for a couple of seconds, and that's the sort of thing that can happen as we see now. Taylor lining them up, taking his kick. Ball's on its way. Umpire's moving. It won't quite make the distance on the goal line, but it certainly will go through for a point.
3-2 to Taylor. Collingwood 8-8. And that margin now is 39 points.
We're at the 19.5-minute mark now in this quarter with Richmond 2 goals 5, Collingwood 8 goals 8 as the kick out is taken. The players are looking to try and take it out. Cloak, strong mark. Handballs over to Shaw. Shaw over to Abernethy. Abernethy drops the boot onto the ball again, looking for Taylor. And guess who's just taken a beautiful mark? Well, there you have it. How easy was that?
Well, the situation that's facing the Tigers at the moment is that the two key players are Cloak and Taylor, both former Richmond players, ironically, and both cutting Richmond to pieces today. Taylor has kicked 3 goals. Cloak has been far too strong in at centre-half forward. Taylor is now lining up for his 4th goal, and he won't have any trouble, I wouldn't think. Maybe. No, just snuck through. Taylor kicks his 4th goal, and on the Pro Football scoreboard in our match of the day here at the MCG, Collingwood moved to 9-8, 62. They're 45 points ahead of a very disappointing Richmond side, 2-5-17.
Yes, what promised to be a good game of football is not shaping up that way at the moment, is it?
Plenty of time left, but Taylor just far too strong. He uses that 16 stone just so well. He demoralised young Ryan, and now he's up against his old mate, former premiership or grand final teammate Jimmy Jess. Ball punched down by Cloak. Oh, he's just killing them. It's Turner who's looking for Taylor again. Williams just chipping in nicely in front of Taylor. Takes the mark. And Mark Williams has kicked 1 goal 2. He's been a very dangerous player in the forward pocket. And the Richmond defence is just too young, too inexperienced, and just a bit too light to handle this heavyweight Collingwood attack. Williams, 25 yards out, sends it through. 1 point. A let-off. 4 scoring shots to Williams. He's kicked 1-3.
Certainly was a let-off. 18 scoring shots to Collingwood, 7 scoring shots to Richmond. That's the sort of thing that's only keeping Richmond in the game at this stage. Not much else at the moment. Collingwood certainly looking far superior at this stage of the game with plenty of football to go. The ball was kicked out there, tried to be punched out by Manton as the ball went off the back of the pack and over the line for throw-in. You see on your screen there, young Turner. Been involved in quite a few good things today. The ball's thrown in. Players set themselves. Cloak over the back, tried to get hold of it, couldn't quite do it. Dropping to the ground with the ball and saying yes, it's definitely holding the ball, and didn't do anything about it was Siao. He's been brought in back 15 metres. Then he's had a go at Poole for pushing him over.
I don't think he quite knows what's happening at the moment.
And Smith has now just had his kick, dropped it down to the centre wing position and running in to almost take a good mark, but he's still got control of the ball is Walsh. Walsh drops the ball down to the forward flank position there near the forward pocket zone. Taylor trying to do something with the ball. This will go over the line and out of bounds again. A bit of scrappy play, a couple of missed opportunities there for Richmond.
Now the photographers there should get that in focus. Almost landed right in their lens cover.
Ball's thrown in. Cloak again and Taylor. Bit of an infringement. Umpire says it's yours, Cloak.
Cloak looking for the Lee looking for the evener because Cloak flattened him before. Over to Billy Picken. Picken playing quite a reasonable game up there in defence. He's looking for Phillips, finds him. Phillips on the left foot. Long torpedo. Out wide looking for McMullen, finding him. He juggles the ball. He's got plenty of skills. He's in front of Burton. Burton pressing him strongly towards the boundary line. There'll be a throw in. That's the way it'll be, right in front of the Mitsubishi Sigma sign right out there on the outer side of the ground. Been playing 23 minutes in this second quarter. Richmond 2-5-17, added 1 goal for the quarter. Collingwood 9-9 have added 3-3. A very poor performance by final aspirants Richmond. Ball back across to the centre. It's Hogg with a hand pass. They're away through a near. Over to Morris Rioli. Mr. Magic. The long hand pass. It's a beauty over to Landy. Lines up on the left foot. The kick over Billy Picken's head. It's a yard wide. Through for a behind. And the goals just aren't falling into place for the Tigers today. They're trailing by 45 points. Midway through, late in the second quarter. Billy Picken drops it onto his boot. Has the run, nice looking pass from Billy, and he finds Mullane.
Real crowd pleaser, I should say, Billy Picken. Every time he gets near the ball, but just picking up play now as that ball was in, kicked down to the pack. No one could get it off the hands and over the line, out of bounds for a throw in about the forward pocket, forward flank position near the 50-metre line. Ball thrown in, players set themselves. Roach and Cloak. Roach got the tap out, went straight to a Collingwood player. Nothing seems to be going right for them today. Ball kicked down to the wing position. Nobody can quite get underneath it. There was an attempt at a mark then, but no one could do anything about it. There's breaking out of the pack there with Landy, but no. Umpires decided he's found it a free kick. I'll just try and pick up who that was that's going to get the free kick, and it looks like it is Landy, and Landy takes his kick.
No, Pickering.
Was that Pickering? Couldn't even quite tell why the umpire had given that free kick, but nonetheless, game goes on. Tony Shaw now with the ball. Drives a kick down, Morwood all on his own. Turns around, has a look to see if there's a lead. There's Taylor in front, just caught flat-footed again. Nothing, what can you do? Taylor gets
I don't
up
think
and
that was his fault. I don't think that was, you can't say that it was his fault really, because it was the perfect pass. Taylor, once he gets in front, you know, there's a yard and a half of him. He's a pick handle and across
the shoulders. Is that what you mean?
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, okay, all right. I'm probably being a bit harsh on Jess. Just that he did seem to be a bit slow in tagging. Nonetheless, Taylor's dropped the boot onto the ball. The umpire's had a good look. Both hands go up for another goal. It's Taylor's 5th goal, the second one this quarter. That's a lovely goal. That's the way to win games, when you lead out and get good marks from a good kick. Collingwood 10 goals, 9-69, leading Richmond 2 goals, 6-18. That's a lead of 51 points. An incredible lead of 51 points at the 25.5-minute mark of this second quarter. And I don't think anybody would have guessed that Collingwood would be this far in front, getting towards the half-time at all, Stephen. It really is. I think it would probably upset most of the pundits today.
The bubble has burst for the Tigers for the moment. Roach in the ruck. They're trying everything, try and swing the game back their way. Manton with the ball tapped out to Francis, to Anir. Johnny Anir in the front position. Got the ball on a string. Looks for the hand pass back to Francis. He better hurry to get rid of it. Not a good hand pass. It's Kerrison with the blood all over his face. Kicks it up towards wing position. Morwood underneath, been a terrific player. Can't quite grab the ball on that occasion. Tapped out. Hogg sees the pass across here to Poole, the one-handed. Pulls it in ever so easily in the centre of the ground. Classy player. In front of Siao. Goes wide looking for the general, and Mark Lee takes it on the chest. Had a pretty quiet game, Mark Lee. The Richmond skipper is well within scoring distance. I've seen him kick 9 goals in a game here on the MCG, and he probably is still running back into fitness after missing most of the season. The general at the 26.5-minute mark of the second quarter comes in. Not a good kick, gets underneath it, scoops it in fact, and the mark taken down there by David Cloak, who with Taylor are Collingwood's 2 good, probably their best players.
Oh, unquestionably, yeah.
Oh, the collision out there, and did that hurt? Walsh cops it. The hand pass is a long one at the Danny Siao. Has one bounce. Pretty confident in the conditions. Siao into centre half forward. Sikorsky, the only Tiger there. The ball comes to the ground. The Collingwood players all spoiling each other. Richmond go wide. Players out there, Michael Roach, Michael Pickering, they're 2 key forwards, both miles out of play. Anir, the hand pass back again. It should come back to Roach. It goes back the other way to Jess. Jess with a whopping big torpedo in towards goals, out of bounds on the full. And I just wonder who Jess is following down into the forward line.
I think he's following the ball, as Taylor's actually probably going for a little bit of a walk, wondering what's going on too.
I think John Manton's got a full back. And they've sent Jess down into attack to try and brighten it up. And the ball coming out now to Dacos. Free kick, ball coming back to Wes Fellows here on the half-back flank for Collingwood. Johnny Manton down there at full-back. We've got Ryan on cloak, Roach in the ruck, and Lee at full forward. Rioli and Burton. Rioli will shepherd. Burton on the left foot, kicks it high. Shaw underneath it. A rainmaker. Good mark, Tony Shaw.
Yes, Tony Shaw, Eustace on the mark, plays on, drops the ball. A lovely mark to Seow. Seow takes the handball across to Abernethy. Abernethy drops the boot on the ball, looking for the sit again is Taylor. No one can quite get to that. And there'll be a bit of shepherding going on inside the ball. Yes, and the umpire's found a free kick for shepherding.
It's going to Manton. Brian Taylor has been using the body and shepherded John Manton out. Manton goes wide. Here's a chance now for the Tigers. And near the long hand pass over. There's the halftime siren, and the Richmond players, it couldn't come quick enough. At halftime on the Pro Football scoreboard, our match of the day at the MCG, Collingwood 10-9-69, lead Richmond 2-6-18, and it's a very, very big start indeed, 51 points. Look forward to joining you after the break.
You want to be a real footballer? I'm being a real footballer. You've got to look like a real footballer. You've got to go for the mark, the VFL mark. Go for the mark. Go for the mark.
Go for the VFL mark at leading stores. Real footy gear, real footy accessories, real footy supporters gear too, in all club colours and badges. Go for the mark. Go for the mark. Go for the mark. Go for the VFL mark at leading stores.
Right, as we see the ball about to be bounced up for the third quarter here in a pro football game between Richmond and Collingwood at the MCG. A good crowd now built up to over 40,000 people, I'd say at least, as the ball is picked up as it's dropped down on the ground. The umpire's called play on. Players getting in there trying to break through the pack there was Abernethy. The umpire said it's a free kick. And the free kick will go to Waitman. Dale Waitman drops the ball to Burton Lee. Takes a nice steady mark. Jess running past, having a little chat. Waitman running by. Big kick, looking for the lead. Can they make the distance? Yes, and a good strong mark. That mark there taken by yours and mine, big Michael Roach. Michael Roach, I would say that Richmond will be looking to really get stuck back into this game now. They've got to pick up a deficit of 51 points. And Roach is the man who can possibly do it with at least this goal on the board to lift their 2-goal score so far. Roach. Pretty good kick for goal. Taking his time. Ball's on its way. Umpire hasn't moved. Looks pretty good. Yes, it is. Richmond have jumped back into it now with the first goal on the board for this quarter. For Richmond, 3 goals, 6-24, trailing Collingwood 10-9-69 at the 1 1/4 minute mark of the third quarter here at the MCG. And that was a well-needed goal, wasn't it?
Yes, Tony Jules made some quite major changes and to this Richmond side that trail by 51 points at half-time. They've come out with Manton on Taylor. He's playing at full back. They've come out with Poole at centre-half back on David Cloak. Lee's in the ruck. Jess is at centre-half forward. Roach back at full forward. Fellows gets the tap. Morris Rioli knocks it on. No one able to pick it up. Finally, it's a Collingwood player in Phillips who gets the ball. Sends it out wide. Turner has trouble picking it up. He's held. The umpire says he was held when he didn't have the ball. And he will take the free kick on the centre wing position.
Well, that's if Smith is going to let him take it.
Yes, well, Smith's just settling things down. Off like a flash, Turner. Tumbling punt. Falls right into the safe arms of Mark Lee. Lee with a long hand pass out. He's looking for Poole. Poole's off. The hand pass out to wing position. Smith looking for Jess. Jess is away up over the top. Jimmy Jess takes the mark. The hand pass to Smith again. Another long hand pass. Not a good one. Pickering. The umpire's found a free kick. It will go against Phillips. Hogg it was who was flattened. And the free kick will be taken by Pickering, half-forward flank. Down there in the goal square, Billy Pickens doing a bit of eyeballing. Not even facing the play. He's got the task of minding Michael Roach. But Michael Pickering is yet to kick a goal. He is a matter of 35 metres out. Distance shouldn't be a worry. Tumbling punt. And that's a mark down there. That's a good mark. Let's wait and see who it is. Could be Burton, I think. Waitman it is. Kick 1 goal. Been reported for hitting the man on the mark in Kerrison. And the ball falling short. Waitman. Usually a pretty good kick, but he's on a very, very acute angle.
Well, that was a bit of luck, was it? Lucky mark, a shocking kick.
Yeah, it wasn't a good kick, but Waitman kept his eyes on the ball. He goes in, tries to skewer it through. I think he's done it. That's the second goal to Richmond for the quarter. They moved to 4-6-30. They've made up 2 quick goals, and boy, did they need them. 39 points the difference now, 3.5 minutes, and if the Tigers were going to start the quarter well, that's what they had to do. Waitman, 2 goals. Lee in the ruck, firing them up. They're getting the ball out of the centre at long last, and I would go so far as to say they could be still in this game, even though they trail by the best part of 6.5 goals. Lee back at the centre square against Fellows. Lee gets it down, picks it up himself. Hand pass out to Landy. They're back in business. Jess spoils Pickering. Maggie's through Smith. Kick it out wide, looking for Walsh. Mullane in front position. Walsh nudges him in the back. There'll be a free kick, and the free kick will go to Mullane of Collingwood. On that wing position, he goes out wide. He's looking for Siao. Instead, he goes for Turner. There's the choice. Both players have made good position. Turner runs round his opponent. The kick, not a good-looking kick, towards the boundary line, and finally pushed over the line by Poole for a throw-in. Half-forward flank for Collingwood members' side.
Yes, Richmond has certainly lifted their game this quarter. Collingwood not going to let them get away with it too easily, though. The ball about to be thrown in. Rioli in their middle there, hoping to get a bit of a snug from the tap out. Cloak, Lee. Lee gets the tap out, down onto the ground. Poole couldn't quite get to it, and it's gone over the ground and over the line, I should say, and out of bounds again for another throw in on the attacking forward pocket, forward flank position for Richmond, I should say Collingwood. Tap in again. Players set. Cloak and Lee. Lee again gets a tap out. Snuck out of there by Dixon. Nobody could quite get it. Cloak down now. Handballs over the back of the head without even looking. Scooped up off the ground by McMullen, who dropped it to the left foot. No one could quite get to it, and again it's gone over the line out of bounds, just right near the point post position on the left half forward pocket position. Throw in again. Players set themselves. Cloak gets a tap out, down to the ground. No one can quite get to it. Players everywhere trying to get something out of that. And another throw. Well, it's desperate footy now. Richmond really keen to get back into this game, and Collingwood very keen to stop them.
It's Lee up against Cloak. They've already had one dust up. There's a kick out of bounds on the full, and it will be a Collingwood free kick. There's the angle. Mullane with the ball. He's some 30 yards out, 30 metres out. The photographer's just moving back. Better watch out. He'll end up sitting on one of those big long lenses, and that'll be quite uncomfortable. Darren Mullane. I think he'll have a shot here. Very cool. Out of bounds on the full. Free kick to be taken by Walsh. Not a good kick. In fact, it's woeful.
That was a let-off too for Richmond. Again, they've had a couple of those in this game.
It's been 50-50. I think the kicking for goal hasn't been terrific. Anir in the front position. Coming through then Zakaski. Shaw and his opponent Eustace. Rioli with the ball. The big roar as he gets his first kick for 8 months. Holding the man, holding the ball. Coming through is Bauer. Lines up, sends it goalward. Out of bounds on the full. Good bit of play started back here by Maury Rioli, wearing number 27. And the free kick, Billy Pickett in the back pocket, another crowd favourite. He's got the job of minding Michael Roach, who's kicked only 1 goal. Jess in there, so too's Phillips. The ball's punched down. Tony Shaw in the front. Eustace hot on his hammer. Shaw traps it cleverly, sends it high. Not a great kick. Danny Siao underneath it, and he takes the mark. Good mark, son. Siao, centre wing position, looking for the hand pass, looking for the short pass, over to Dacos. Dacos has the bounce, trying to draw players in. It's a beautiful looking drop punt too, looking for McMullen in the front position. Landy now towards the boundary line, taps it over. Good, solid defensive play by Graham Landy there, nothing flash. And he's quite content with the throw in. We've been playing 7.5 minutes in the third quarter in the pro football match of the day, and the margin 39 points in favour of the Magpies. It's Dacos. He's flung to the ground. The umpire says play on. In the front, it's McMullen. Rioli just content to watch it go out of bounds there. Maury Rioli just running back into form. Won the court injunction yesterday, had it cleared, and he's back after a very unfortunate few months out of his football career. It's Lee and Cloak. The tap's a beauty over to Burton. Burton's torpedo into the centre of the ground. Siao in front taps it over. Kerrison with a big kick. Cloak and Lee. Lee the fist. Rioli comes out, weaves. The long hand pass is a beauty over to Francis. They're away, the Tigers. And near, they've got their running game going. Looking for Jess. Find Jess. Very strong play, Jimmy Jess. The kick. Got a great one. Roach up, and Roach takes it. What a screamer. Jess into full forward. Roach has the run. And there's the disco. Kick 1 goal. Chance to kick the Tigers, 3rd for the quarter. And put them right back into this game. All the moves have paid off. Manton's doing a good job at fullback. Poole's cutting Cloak out. Jess is playing well at centre half forward. And Roach is back into the game. It's a goal. The Tigers, 5-6-36, are back in this one. The pro football match of the day at the MCG. And the margin, 33 points. And just have a look at that pass again. Jess takes the mark, spears it up forward. Roach looks to be out of position, goes up and just grabs it, and what a mark.
Yeah, that was a brilliant mark, and that's the sort of thing that's really going to lift the spirits of all of the players for Richmond, and it's also lifted the spirit of the crowd too. Richmond supporters have been fairly quiet while we're waiting for the ball to be bounced. A big hello to the Kensington Hotel and all of you drunks out there in South Australia. And they tell me a little hello too to the special pub best drinkers, Len Millis and Bub Elvey, if I've got that right, as the ball's now tapped out of the centre of the ground and quietly and quickly scooped up there, and a nice quiet little mark has been taken by Cloak. Cloak's going to go back and have a shot for goal, by the looks of things. He's looking for a pass. The lead has been made. Can Manton knock off Taylor? No, Taylor's got the jump on the ball. Quickly ducked around out of the pack, trying hard to get his hands onto the ball. The umpire said no, throw that in, out of bounds.
Not happy, Brian Taylor, either.
No, I wouldn't expect that he would be after that. He did look to me like he might have been pushed in the back, or at least holding the man for attempting to do it. Nonetheless, the umpire, it's pretty hard to get a free kick on the forward line these days. The ball is thrown in. Cloak gets the big tap out. Down to the Richmond players. Scooped up and coming around here is...
Oh, Poole. Lovely play.
And a great bit of... And the umpire said no, he'll take that for pushing in the back. Too right it is too. Poole looking good too as he broke away from the pack. This is the kick is going to be taken here by Bauer. Bauer going back over the mark.
He's looking for Lee or Rioli. Oh, Rioli's in all sorts of strife there against Cloak, picked up by Smith. He centres it. Richmond players there are Landy and McMullen chasing him. McMullen looked as though he's going to come out with a ball. Oh, Williams just barges his way through. It's Bradbury. Under there is Kerrison. He's in possession of the ball. Good decision. Francis takes the free kick. Half-back flank. They're off like a shot through Walsh. Walsh on the left foot. Goes wide. He's looking out there for Hogg. Hogg taps it in. Bauer. I've been impressed with him this season. On the left foot. Looks for Jess. Jess taps it down. Follows up. Oh, that's good play, Lee. Over to Pickering. Pickering lines up from 15 metres out. Puts it through. Goal number 6 to the Tigers. They're back in town. Richmond 6-6, 42. Collingwood 10-9, 69. And they've kicked 4 goals in the first 11 minutes of the 3rd quarter.
Well, that was a great bit of footy. Pickering doing the same things that he was doing last week. That's very much the same as the footy he played last week when they had that big win over Sydney.
Great play by Waitman.
Oh, yeah. That's too true. Oh, yes, we can't take anything away from Waitman, who started that. And we've got ourselves a football game now. We've got a real good game in our hands.
27 points the difference in pro football's match of the day. The 3rd quarter, they call it the premiership quarter. And it's all of that here at the MCG. Dacos comes out of the centre, goes for the hand pass to Mullane. Collingwood haven't scored this quarter, haven't goaled. Up forward, the high flyers. Burton, Dixon with the ball. He's going to kick it through to Poole. Takes the mark.
Yes, well, it's either going to be a marker out over the line, out of bounds on the full. So as we can see, the mark now being taken, kicking in. Players up and running. Can anyone? Cloak couldn't quite take the one. Over the back of the pack is Dacos. Dummies. Falls, drops it over to Tony Shaw. He puts the ball. Oh, a shocking kick out of bounds on the full. But he had time to kick it too. That was just plain shocker. And no reason why that could happen. Nonetheless, the ball is over the line. Free kick being taken now. Kicking down. Players setting themselves. Tony Shaw trying to get underneath it. So too also, but Eustace grabs hold of the ball, breaks out, tackled heavily, gets rid of the ball, picked up by Smith. Smith has a look for a lead, can't quite get to anybody. Driving down to get on the ground is Williams. Williams has a shot for goal. No way known. One more point And that's the first score for the quarter for Collingwood. Collingwood 10 goals, 10-70, leading Richmond 6-6-42.
So problem down here.
Is there? Yes, so far this quarter we've had Collingwood 1 point. Collingwood have kicked Richmond kicked 4 goals. Jess just misses a mark. Running in to pick up the ball and having a little shot for a goal. There is Phillips. And Phillips has hit the post. Well, how much luck do you need?
Well, Burton's limping. When he ran down, his man became free. Jess was coming in, collided with his Collingwood opponent. Collingwood, they look a little rattled to me. They've come out since half-time and kicked 2 behinds. The Tigers have kicked 4 goals straight. They're looking for Jess and Lee when they kick in now. Lee in the front position, can't take the mark, beats everyone. Cloak's there. He's thrown to the ground by Lee. They're much more aggressive this quarter. Anir comes out with it. He kicks it in towards centre-half forward. He's looking for Pickering at the back. Pickering's off, over to Waitman. The hand passes on, the short passes on, the flea lines up from 30 metres out. Puts it through for 1 behind.
How unfortunate.
Bad play, Richmond. Bad play by Waitman to miss the set shot from 25 metres out. It was just the goal they needed. Would have been the 5th goal for the quarter. And Abernethy kicks it straight up in the air. Takes the run. He's usually a gorgeous kick. 55 metres out. Murray Rioli with the ball. Morris come right into the game in this 3rd quarter. The left foot pass, looking for Roach. Roach in the front position. Coming through now is Hogg. Can't pick it up. Tapped out to Roach. Roach has grabbed it, hasn't got the ball. Push in the back perhaps. No, Roach again. The umpire says a Collingwood free kick. Had all the time in the world. It'll be Kerrison. Kerrison, who was on the end of a bit of action early on from Waitman. Gets it in towards centre-half forward, to centre-half back over to Turner. Turner goes wide to Smith. Smith and John Anir out wide again. Bradbury just slowing things down, looking for the pass. Bradbury, the left foot, very handy. He's looking for Taylor. Taylor in the front position, there's 2 on him. Here's the chance now along the ground, into the square. Oh, it's a goal! Goal to Collingwood. It's a settler.
That was a great goal. I couldn't quite see who picked it out of the pack there. I'm just trying to pick it up now. They look for all of my money. That looked like could have been Shane Morwood. Yes, it was Shane Morwood. That was a great goal. It was just couldn't quite get to it.
Let's look at it on replay. The ball tapped down. They're all over Taylor at the moment. Poole and Zakaski try to get to Morwood. The ball slithers over the line, and there's nothing anyone can do about it. Collingwood's 11th goal. We're back here in the centre of the ground. Tigers back into attack, or will it be Collingwood? Lee in the race for the ball. Mullane's in there too. Lee, oh, a bit of vigorous play behind, and the umpire right on the spot too. Don't worry about that. Bradbury towards goal. Hasn't been touched. It's a goal.
Oh, brilliant goal
to Bradbury. Collingwood back in business. And the umpire behind the scenes having a talk to Mark Lee after his little tete-a-tete with Tony Shaw.
No doubt about that goal. That was a beautiful goal on the left foot coming around the boundary from Bradbury, and no sooner do you think Richmond's in the game, and Collingwood pile on 2 quick ones just to let Richmond know that we're not out of this by a long shot. You want to beat us, you better start playing better footy. A terrific goal that. Bradbury had covered from the other side of the ground. He'd covered probably a good 100 yards to get hold of that ball. On the interchange bench now we see Ryan coming back on. And the umpire's found a free kick. That free kick is going to be taken by, is that Cloak? Yes, it is Cloak. Cloak now looking, he's going to stick the boot into this. Big long kick down to the centre-half forward position. The players set themselves. No one can quite take the mark. Running around the edge there was Taylor. He couldn't quite get to it. Scooping the goal in front of him now is Poole. Poole doing his best. Oh, big heavy bump there too. As the ball went over the line. Poole not too happy about that bump. He seems to think it was a bit unfair. A few of the players have
nothing
been
unfair about it at all.
No, not at all. I just think he was upset he didn't get the ball.
Hip and shoulder from Mullane, it was a beauty.
Yep,
Poole running along, he was always going to be set up, but that's what footy's all about. Poole had his eye on the ball, and Mullane came steaming through. That's Lee and Taylor. The tap over the back's a beauty from Lee. Can't be picked up. It's Shaw who comes through with it. Wobbly old kick, and a nice mark taken down there by Craig Smith. Smith off on the left foot. Goes for the short pass over to Bauer. Opens up the loose man. He's too slow getting rid of it. Bowers kicks out wide to Francis. They've got to hurry it down the quickest way, and that's not the fastest way home. Ryan back out there. Over to Anir. Anir's looking for the pass. He's into that centre wicket area. It's all slippery. Over the back, Roach. but so too is Greg Phillips. Phillips caught with the ball. Back to Roach. Roach taps it on nicely. Here's the chance for Jess. He centres it. Great chance here for Richmond. Oh, caught with the ball. The umpire says play on. Abernethy lets it go. Great play, Collingwood, under extreme pressure. And a bit of pushing and shoving out there. But they have taken the pressure off for the moment. It's Smith. Clever to get round Landy. Landy recovers well. The tap on. Back to Francis. It's slippery conditions. McMullen, usually very skillful, can't pick it up. He's all over Ryan. He throws it out. Here's a chance now. Taking the pressure off is Gaper. Collingwood again from the wing position. McMullen. They've settled. And over the line. We'll throw in.
Well, it's a pretty desperate passage of play there. Both of the teams really trying their hardest at the moment, throwing their whole bodies into it. The throwing will help the game to settle down a bit as the ball's thrown in now. Players setting themselves, a bit of tussling. Cloak got the tap out there. Rioli also couldn't quite get hold of the ball, but now we see it picked up and scooped along the ground. Driven down to the forward flank position. Up there and taking a good strong mark there is Cloak again. He's been at everything, this fella, isn't he, today? Been played a magnificent game. Over to Tony Shaw. Tony Shaw drops the ball. Wobbly old kick. Who's down there? Smith couldn't quite get his hands to it. Beaten in the run for the ball. Poole coming through to take the hand pass in the opposite direction. Drops it onto the Jess. Jess takes a nice strong mark. Has a look around. Thinks he'll settle down and go back and take a kick. No, he's playing on. Drops it onto the left foot. Looking for someone to centre half forward. Roach couldn't quite get his hands to it. Scooped off the back. Tony Shaw takes the handball. Handballs it out to Smith. Smith handballs it across to Cloak again. Cloak handballs across to the centre there. It looks like couldn't pick up that player. Beautifully picked up and scooped up by Turner. Turner looks around, drops the ball onto the boot. Can he find anyone? Yes, and a lovely one-hander pulled in by
Morwood.
Yes, Morwood. Tony
He's already
Morwood.
kicked 2 goals, Shane Morwood. One-hander, and Morwood only a matter of 25 metres out. Got away on that occasion. And some very, very heavy play back up the field between Lee and Cloak.
That play actually started from way back on the centre half-back position. They
Did indeed. Morwood comes in. Nice-looking kick. That's a goal to Collingwood. They've settled 13-11, 89. They lead Richmond by 46 points. Richmond 6-7, 43. And the Magpies heading towards the win that they've so desperately wanted. They've wanted to really put a big one on the board. And I think today at the MCG in the Pro Football Match of the Day, they're doing just that. 13 scoring shots to 24. I think the thing to watch out for will be the continued clash between Cloak and Lee. Not 1 ounce of love lost.
No, there's no truer word spoken, Steve.
Watch the clash here. It's Lee who gets the handball, gets the pass down. It's Tony Shaw who picks it up. Poole underneath, uses his body. The hand pass out. Here it comes. McMullen lines up, puts it through. Goal number 14 to Collingwood, and are they coming back? Ian McMullen's second goal. The margin, 52 points, 21 and a half minutes into the third quarter. And look at those Collingwood fans. They're having a terrific time here today. The MCG hasn't been all that kind to them over the years, but they've got plenty to scream about today.
There's 4 goals apiece this quarter. That brings us back into where they started off at half-time. Richmond want to do anything about this game now. They're going to have to really get on with the job. And Collingwood are certainly fighting back even more. Cloak, Lee gets the tap out. Ball down to the ground. Kicked over to the edge of the square, but a nice mark taken there. It looks to me like it could be... I didn't quite pick up with it. Bauer, yes, he's a fine-looking player too. Bauer kicked the ball, but it's still holding it in play as Hogg. Hogg gets the hand pass over the centre wing position. Walsh turns around and drops the boot to ball, drives it down to centre half forward. Oh, flying for a mark there. Couldn't quite take it. Jess scoops the ball off the pack, drops it onto the left foot and says, thank you very much, that goal is mine.
Now mark that goal down to Dale Wakeman, who's caught out of position. 2 big players alongside him. He's gone up for the screamer, spoiled them both. Jess swoops on the ball, runs in and drives it through for a goal. Beautiful piece of play. And Jess ran straight back and patted his little mate, the flea, on the back and thanked him for that one. And Tigers 7-7, 49. Still a long, long way to go. The 31-year-old ghost Jimmy Jess putting that one on the board. It's Mark Lee who thumps it forward. He's looking for Wakeman. They're back in business through Rioli. He's caught with the ball, gets the hand pass. Kick off the ground. Phillips it was. Coming through now is Mullane. Can't pick it up the first time, the second time, the third time, or the fourth time. The hand pass out to Eustace. He lines up, sees the pass. Can't get it to Jess.
Collingwood.
And that could well have been against Billy Picken then. Pickering caught him as he was moving through, and Billy Picken wasn't too happy with that one at all.
Yes, Billy went down on the ground. He's picked up the ball now, kicked it across to Abernathy. Abernathy drives the ball back into the centre wing position. No one can quite get to the ball. Ball drops to the ground. It's picked up and kicked down to the forward flank position and lands in the middle of nowhere. Players running in from every direction to try and get hold of it. Brian was there trying to get hold of it. The ball's gone over the line and out of bounds. A lot of pressure football today. Collingwood certainly applying a hell of a lot of pressure here. We've got Tony Gill made more moves than a tin of worms to try and lift the Richmond team after the half-time talk. He's got the job ahead of him now. The tap out, the whistle's gone, the umpire's found a free kick. That free kick looks like it's going to be taken. I can't quite pick it up from the distance here by Mark Lee. Lee dummies around, drops to left foot.
Free kick downfield.
Free kick downfield as Maurice Rioli picks up the ball and plays on. Players set themselves. Tapped over the head by Cloak in the wrong direction. Pickering trying to pick it up. Now it's been scooped through, running through. Landy drops the ball down, but no one there is for Richmond. And a nice safe mark taken by Billy Picken. Billy drops the ball onto the right foot, out to the full back flank position. And another safe mark there taken by Collingwood. Settling things down a bit, taking his time. Very ordinary kick down to the centre wing position. No one can quite take the mark. Running in to get hold of the ball was Abernathy. Abernathy drops the ball to boot. No one can quite take the mark again. Rioli in there, trying hard, picks up the ball. Couldn't quite handball it out. Now it's cleared from the pack. Running in and scooping up the ball. I can't quite pick up who that was, but it doesn't matter. It's now been handballed across. A big kick down to centre half forward position. Can anyone get up there? No, we're back into the slippery position. Very slippery part of the ground. The ball scooped off the ground. It's through for 1 point. I couldn't quite catch who that was. It's such a long distance on the other side of the ground.
Richmond 7-8-50, Collingwood 14-11-95. Still 45 points of difference. The Tigers have made up 1 goal for the quarter, and we've been playing 25.5 minutes into this third quarter. They'll look for Phillips out there. Phillips has made the lead. He's got away from Jess on that occasion. A strong mark. Hand passes straight onto Mullane. Mullane in that centre wicket area, very damp, very slippery. He's kicked it up forward and finds Craig Smith. Smith looking for the pass. They're away again, the Tigers. Find that loose man out there. Walsh on the left foot, goes wide, punched over the line, and we'll have a throw in. Right in front of Bay 19 in the southern stand. A very, very good crowd here. The weather's been kind to us. Quite a breezy afternoon here at the MCG, if anything, favouring the Collingwood goals at the moment. The tap down, players making hard work of it in there. The ball's like a piece of soap. It's Tony Shaw who comes out, kicks it high. Smith underneath takes another good mark on that half-back flank. He's off. He'll centre it in towards the dead centre of the ground. Caught with the ball's Bradbury. He gets rid of it. The umpire will come in. Let's play go on. Anir with the long hand pass, is it? Now this time it's Anir who comes in. Oh, a bit high. The umpire lets that one go. There'll be a bounce right in the centre of the ground. 27 minutes gone in the third quarter, 45 points the difference. The Tigers only showing one brief burst of 5 minutes in this third quarter, and they got right back into it. Ball down. Francis with a hand pass on. That's better looking running play. Landy gets it out to Jess. Jess made all the difference at centre half forward. Not a good hand pass. All the pressure in the world on Ryan, and the umpire will throw the ball in. Half forward flank just around from the Collingwood bench.
Yes, I don't think Hogg really wanted that that lead then. It certainly put him under pressure. Nonetheless, the ball about to be thrown in now on the forward flank position, attacking position for Richmond. Lee tries to get the tap out, scooped up by Waitman, over to Anira. Anira drops the ball on the left foot, sends it down to the centre half forward position. Collingwood and Richmond, no one can quite take the mark. The crowd thinks there was. The ball's up in the air, now it's down on the ground again, scooped up by Smith. Smith drops the ball out in the middle of nowhere. There's a race on here between Anir and it looks to me like Smith. Who can get to it first? Oh, Anir, desperate stuff, dives for the ball, clears the ball away. Coming in now is Kerrison. He couldn't do much. Balked, dummies around, gets the kick. Is it going to get to anyone? Oh, and a lovely safe mark taken by Smith. Smith elects to play on, handballs across to Francis. Francis now drives the ball down, uncontested, and on his own is Lee. Lee gets up from his slide, drops the ball looking for Jess. Oh, yes. No, the umpire's called play on.
Yeah, bump ball.
Yes.
Only seconds to go in this quarter.
Hogg.
Oh,
Can't
come on.
quite get to it.
That's
Scooping
good
the
play.
ball off. There we go. That's the way to do it. Get the boot
Zakaski.
to ball. Zakaski hasn't been in it much today. Driving the ball down now. Lee looking for the pass. Gets the pass. Turns around slowly. Lines up the goal.
Jess.
It's a deliberate shot.
Hits the post.
Hit the post. How unlucky can you be? Well, there you go. That's the way things are today at this ground. There's been 3 occasions where the post has been hit. Richmond 7 goals 9, 51, trailing Collingwood 14, 11, 95. That's a difference of something like 44 points at the 28-29 minute mark of this third quarter. Can't be long to go now.
Play over there on that half-back flank for Collingwood. They've managed to fight back in after looking as though they'd lost control of the game early in the quarter. Lee contributing a lot more. Jess having a big quarter, and Smith down in the back line for... and there's the siren for three-quarter time. They're in the attacking mode again. Richmond 7-9, 51. Trail Collingwood 14-11, 95 at three-quarter time. The margin 44 points. Join us for a great last quarter on Pro Football's Match of the Day. Welcome back to Pro Football's Match of the Day at the MCG. Collingwood leading Richmond. Collingwood 14-11, 95. Richmond 7-9, 51. Final quarter underway here. Umpire coming in to put the ball down. It'll be Lee against Cloak, and what a battle they've had. Lee's probably statistically had the best of the duel, but Cloak's done some terrific stuff around the ground. Probably been Collingwood's best player in the first half. Back down in the centre of the ground. Plenty of physical stuff in there. Morris Rioli trampled into the ground. Play on. The umpire says no. Too long. Free kick to Collingwood. They're back into attack. Let's have a good look at this one. Kicking into a slight breeze by the look of things. Tap down. Bauer comes out with it. Gets a little kick in. Dacos ridden to the ground by Waitman. Back into the play again. Way out wide now in that practice wicket area. Just trying to keep it in play. Richmond in defence. To the wing. Not a great kick. Picks out Bradbury all by himself. Bradbury's kicking towards centre half forward. Over the back there's Taylor. Goes for the hand pass, dummies. Then the long hand pass comes across to Abernethy. Watch this man kick. Straight in towards goal. Oh, and a good mark down there, right down there in that last line of defence by Craig Smith, who's played an exceptional last hour or so.
Yes, he certainly has played. It's a kick in now. Poole fights for the ball, but Abernethy takes a nice strong mark. Hands it to the crowd, says, this is mine. Looking for someone to kick it to. Settling down. Players making position. A small lead there by Williams. He has his kick now, Abernethy. It's a big long kick in towards the centre goal square, but knocked over the line and out of bounds. It'll be thrown in just on the forward pocket zone for Collingwood. I beg your pardon, that's gone through for a point. I was sure they did, but it was rushed through. Pardon me for that anyway. The kick out now being taken. Oh, and a shocker. That really was a shocker. He wasn't thinking when he did that at all, and I think he'll be feeling pretty sad about that, Manton, who Stephen Phillips had just said had been playing a great game today, and particularly in the last hour, and then does something like that. It makes you wonder.
No, I didn't say Manton, I said Smith.
Did you?
Jake Smith.
Sumner coming in to take the kick. Offline. Through for another point.
Yeah, a bad mistake then by John Manton. It's the thing that all fullbacks have nightmares about, kicking the ball back into play and dribbling off the boot and just landing on the chest of an attacking player. And that's exactly what happened. And he was very lucky then that Sumner wasn't up to converting it. Let's have a look at this next kick out. He'll go out the other way. That's a much better looking kick. Could have been a bit of holding the man. Then Smith was in there. And the umpire has paid a free kick holding the man and will go to Richmond. Richmond away out there through Pickering. Half-back flank. Hasn't been nearly the dominant player he was last week. Morris Rioli coming through. The hand pass out. Collingwood away through Kerrison. Kerrison's kicks high. It's a rainmaker. Could have been holding the man then against Williams. Play on. Moorwood lines up. Offline. Through for a behind. Shane Moorwood.
Sharked that well from the pack then as it went up for the mark.
Got great anticipation, terrific skills. That time just a little off target, and the margin 47 points. 3 minutes into the last quarter. Manton again. That's a better looking kick too. Back and finding Mark Lee. He's captain. He'll get a game next week. Lee into Anir. Anir punches on. Number 51, Michael Gafer running for the ball. Oh, throws it to the ground. Poole in there. He comes out with the long hand pass over his shoulder. Not a very good one indeed. Caught by the foot, and the umpire says there's a free kick going Gafer's way. Collingwood on the half-back flank. Played it pretty steady last quarter after letting Richmond run away for about 10 minutes. That's Bradbury on the wing position, taking the easiest of chest marks. Breaks onto his left foot, in towards centre half forward where he'll be looking for Taylor. Taylor tries, has 2 bites at it, puts the ball on his teammate's chest. The umpire comes in and will bounce.
Right, at this stage we're looking at the 4.5 minute mark of this final quarter. 7-9-51 trailing Collingwood 14-14-98 as the umpire bounces the ball. Players set themselves. Lee gets the big tap out over the back of his head straight to a Collingwood player who jumps around onto the right foot there, sinks it down into the centre half forward position. No one can quite take the mark. Thrown to the ground. I really can't see. Eustace was doing his best in to try and unnerve the players. Running out to pick up the ball and taking a nice safe kick in defence is Bauer. Bauer drops the ball out to the flank, slipping and sliding in the poor old cricket patch there. And the umpire says throw that ball in. It's pretty hard to keep standing up over that. They've all been falling over all day. Throw in now to be taken on the back flank position, on Collingwood's back flank in front of the southern stand. Lee. Cloak couldn't quite get to it. Double tap out. 2 Collingwood players uncontested. Dropped the ball to Boot. Smith coming up to try and take the mark. It was Ryan. He couldn't do anything off the back of the pack, but the umpire said it's a free kick for interference anyway and elects to play on.
Good mark, Bauer.
Bauer takes a no. He's played a good game today too. Straight to Jess. He's dropped that ball straight into him. Jess has stopped. He'll have turn around and have a good hard look at this one.
I think he'll have a good hard kick at it too.
I think so too.
Watch
He'll
this
kick
one.
The bag out of this one. Yep, you said it. Not quite. Falling a bit short. Only a 50-yarder. Almost a screamer for mark taken. But there's Cloak running down to scoop up the ball. Can he get to it? Playing the ball in front of him. No, he's decided to let it go over the line. And over the line, and it'll go for a throw in.
Half-forward flank for Richmond. We've been playing 6 minutes in this final quarter. They're making no impression on Collingwood at the moment. What they need is 2 or 3 very, very quick goals. Ball tapped down. Here's a chance for Abernethy. He played a fantastic game. Abernethy unloaded as he kicks the ball. Landy underneath it. McMullen goes for the screamer. Going through then was Gordon Sumner. Coming back through is Francis. Francis with the right foot kick. Looking for Roach. Shipping in there ever so easily. The Collingwood defence. Abernethy. He's just knocked up getting kicks and hand passes. Smith pushing and shoving. And that's a nice mark taken down there by BT. Brian Taylor just playing for the 15-metre penalty, if you don't mind. Des Ryan just a bit young, a bit inexperienced. And while everyone's got their back turned, including the Ghost, Taylor looks for the pass. Jess out again, nice and cool, across to Zakaski. Zakaski with the long clearing kick. Phillips is underneath it. Experience. And Phillips gets the ball across to a teammate. A good smother. Mark Lee had his back to the play. What's going on down there? They should surely be watching the play. Bradbury going wide, finds the pass out to Williams, who can't hold on to it. Flew before acceptances, over to Morwood. Morwood lines up, slams it through, shut the gate. Collingwood 15-14, 104. Richmond 7-9, 51. 7.5 minutes gone in this final quarter at the MCG, and Shane Morwood has been a very, very dangerous forward.
Well, it just goes to show you the type of play that's going on. Richmond desperate to try and keep in the game. It's taken 7.5 minutes to put the first goal on the board for this final quarter, and Collingwood aren't about to let up either. That was a great goal by Morwood. Richmond looking like they're just not going to be able to peg back the difference now, which is 53 points. And I would say that unless some miracles happen, Collingwood are going to run away winners, and unexpectedly too, I'd say, for a lot of people. The tap out. No one can quite get hold of the ball. Poole running in to get it, scoops the ball up, dodges around, drops the ball onto the boot, looking for a lead, and he's found it too. Roach.
And down at full forward, Jess all by himself.
Yes.
Roach sees the pass. He's decided to go for the goal himself. Nice piece of play by Jess, getting away from his opponent then. But Michael Roach now is 35 metres out. The distance won't trouble him. Crouches over the ball, that very distinctive kicking style that he's got. Comes in, one of the best kicks in league football, very stylish. The kick fades through, 1 goal to Roach, and that is Michael Roach's 3rd goal. The duel between Michael Roach and Brian Taylor at opposite ends of the grounds has been decidedly one way, with Brian Taylor kicking 5-2, Michael Roach 3 straight.
Brian Taylor hasn't been seen much. He's kicked all of his 5 goals in the first half. We're yet to see if he can do anything in this last quarter, not kicking any goals at all. That doesn't mean to say he hasn't been in the play and creating lots and lots of trouble for the Richmond defenders either.
Ball back in the centre, and Mark Lee and David Cloak back in the thick of things. Cloak comes down. Clever play, the tap on. Here's the chance now for Bradbury, bursting out of the centre. They've done it so often today. In towards full forward, and in the last line down there, it's Manton. Gets the hand pass across over there to Smith. Played a great game in defence, Smith. His kick is a beauty too, and finds out there Philip Walsh. Walsh, half-back flank, the left foot, drills it into the centre. Player fell there. The umpire says play on. The hand pass over. Collingwood looking a lot better, going out wide. Sumner traps the ball, swings around, looks for the pass. He'll be looking for McMullen, who'll have the ride, but it's a man in front, and that's the way the umpire will see it. Man in front is Graham Landy. He's too experienced. Scooted around, tried to play on. He'll look for the hand pass there, perhaps, but I prefer to see him kick the ball because he is usually a very, very good kick. Looks for Pickering, falls short on that occasion. Pickering taps it out. Shaw's there, Sumner, Kerrison runs towards the line. Kerrison pushes it over, and we'll have a throw in.
Well, the throw in to be taken just near the interchange line on the a little bit of mucking around there on the near the bench with a couple of the players there. Umpire about to throw the ball in. Players setting themselves again. Lee and Cloak. Well, Lee got the tap out again. He's won most of the tap outs today against Cloak. Ball down to the ground and shuffled across by Tony Shaw. And we'll see the ball thrown in again, exactly where it came from. Shaw, Eustace, looking to see if they can pick one up. Waitman, Poole, all there. Lee, Cloak. Lee again. Waitman being held and couldn't get to it. Eustace gets hold of the ball and drops it out of the pack into the sky. But a safe mark taken there by Gaffer. Gaffer go back to take his kick. He's bringing him back 15 metres, which I didn't think was very necessary. Nonetheless, Gaffer's elected to play on. Kicking the ball down, there's Cloak all by himself, but no, the ball's over the line, out of bounds on the full, and that wasn't a very good kick at all there by Kerrison. The kick down to the centre wing position. Jess is up there, so's Cloak, and nearly a good mark taken there by Cloak. Waitman burrowing in to try and get the ball out, but the umpire will say it's mine. Let's have a bounce up and settle this thing down. Jess, Waitman, Shaw, Cloak, Lee. Cloak got the tap out. It'll go back over the line for another throw in whence it came from. So here we have now the 11.5-minute mark as they're throwing this in. Richmond 8-9-57, trailing Collingwood 15-14, 104. The tap out. Lee gets the shuffle. Waitman's in there. Nobody can get the ball. It's very scrambly. Nothing really happening. And once again, we will see the umpire balling it up. Centre wing position. Players set themselves. Lee and Cloak, has been a tough fight. Lee again. Gaffer trying to break through with a kick. Can't quite do it. Waitman was in there. Pushed in the back. And the umpire, Waitman's a little fiery little fella. He's not too happy about things at all. Waitman going back to take his kick. Here's the kick to centre half forward position just near the square. No one can try to take the mark. Straight over the top of the play. Rioli bounces off the back of the pack, picks up the crumbs, handballs across, over to Walsh. Walsh has a look at the goals, sinks the boot into it and says, yes, thanks very much. That looks like 1 point.
Poor play then. Walsh, another one of the Richmond players who's had the opportunity to convert today, running into what should have been an open goal. Set up nicely then by Rioli. The long hand pass. Good to see him back. Take him a while to run in. Mark Lee under that one will take the ball forward again. Kicks it right up there. Good mark. The umpire says no. Play on. Cloak with a long hand pass out. Finds Xiao. Xiao goes for the bounce. The tackle. No, and he gets it out quite well. Smith taps it to the ground once. And then the long driving kick out of defence. The punch down. The official attendance here, 41,945.
By gee, we're not bad, are we, really? We picked it at 40,000. A little pat in the back for us.
Back in the centre, and it's Lee coming into the game a bit more. Pass over here. And the Tigers trying desperately to make some impression on this lead that Collingwood have built, but I can't see them doing it. Phillips to Bradbury, back to Phillips, back to Taylor, who's been out at centre half forward. Taylor looks for the pass. It's not a bad looking pass, except it's gone straight over Williams's head. Oh, lovely bit of play then by Collingwood. Could have almost stolen it. Dacos sends it round towards goal, but it's through for a behind.
I think he tried the dummy and it didn't work then.
It was one of those ones where he held the ball out of arm's length, and a Collingwood player went past and almost stole it from him right in front. Waiting for John Manton to kick in at the 14-minute mark of this, the final quarter of the pro football match of the day. Manton's pass, not a particularly good one, puts his teammate under all sorts of pressure. Pass on to
Anir.
John Anir. Amazing how the name slides off the tongue. Mark Lee, he's back into things now. Had 3 or 4 marks this quarter. Over to Rioli, not a good hand pass. Waitman, back to Rioli. Oh, dreadful fumbling football. And Tigers through Landy. And another bad piece of play. Siao comes through. It's scrappy schoolboy stuff at the moment as Landy clears in towards centre half forward, and a nice mark taken down there. Tony Shaw clips him around the head. Poole it is. Steadies. Waitman says that away's the goal. He looks for Jess. Jess in the front position, comes down a cropper, but Jimmy Jess now has the chance to bring up his second goal and Richmond's 9th. Jess, 35 to 40 metres out, probably closer to 45 metres out. Directly in front. The distance would certainly not be a problem. The old ghost, lad from Avoca, lines up. In the old days, he would have put this through goal post high. And it's good to see that times don't change all that often. Goal to Jess. That's his second. And Richmond move to 8-10, 58. Trailing Collingwood 15-15, 105.
Yes.
9-10, 64, I should say. The scoreboard just a bit slow.
I think Richmond, really, the time is running out now. There's only about 15 minutes of play left in this game at all. To try and pick up now a 6-7 goal break that Collingwood have got on them, I think, well, it's not impossible, but I think it's going to be pretty tough. Collingwood are certainly still full of running, and they're out to win this game. They want it badly. The ball bounced. Cloak, Lee gets a tab at, bounces down to the ground. Phillips couldn't try to get to the ball. Can't quite see anything there. No, the umpire says, look, it's all a bit too scrappy and messy. I called Phillips there, so I should have said that was Smith. Bounce of the ball again. Players set themselves, been a tough old tussle. Lee gets the big tap out, knuckles it out to the ground, but it's picked up by Collingwood. Handing it over to Shaw. Shaw drops the ball down over to, I can't quite pick
Phillips,
it up, but Phillips, and then Phillips, yeah, with the one I said before. But, well, Bradbury's pretty keen to stop him from taking hold of that ball. I don't think Bradbury wants him to have it. But nonetheless, Bauer over to Landy. Landy drops the ball onto the boot, looking for someone there. Anyone up for the mark? Oh, yes, Cloak had the sit, couldn't quite hold it. Gafer was in there. No one can do anything with it. Cloak again, he's a fighter from way back. Gafer gets his kick in off the ground. It's a shuffling kick. It's scooped up to Anir. Anir, oh, trying hard to get hold of the ball. And the umpire says he fell over his back and he'll take the free kick in here, bring him back over the mark. Could have paid the advantage. It looked pretty good, but the umpire had blown the whistle to pull the game up. Anir going back to take his kick. Down to the centre half forward position. The players set themselves. No one can take the mark. The ball drops to the ground. Jess trying to scoop it up in the air. Taps it on in front of him. Can't do much with it. 2 Collingwood players, and they'd better pull that ball up in a hurry. They have. Turning around, stopped the ball from going through for a score. Kicking it out to Rioli. Rioli couldn't quite get underneath it. He's down on the ground. Collingwood rushing in. Being attacked by Poole now. The ball drops to the ground. No one can get hold of it. Oh, yes, and the crowd is calling for Dacos to go through there. Francis drops the ball, intercepted beautifully there by what it looks like
Abernethy drives it up to the half-forward line, and a good mark taken down there by Hogg. Thrown back by Ryan. Great play. Abernethy's been an outstanding player today. Had a million possessions. Hogg it is. Sees the short pass into the centre of the ground. Francis just running around in circles, not doing anything. Anir hasn't been the damaging player he was last week. The pass is on. Hogg scoops it in. Now, Hogg's only a matter of, he'd be 50 metres out, the 50-metre line, but it runs straight across the ground. There's a 15-metre penalty, and that brings them right within kicking distance. Jeff Hogg, yet to kick a goal today. 41 points the difference. Nearly 19 minutes gone. Comes in. Player of the future, this lad. That's his first. Richmond hit double figures at last. 10 goals, 10-70. They're 35 points down. And this could be their second defeat in 6 matches, staring them in the face. Hogg, 1 goal. Michael Roach has kicked 3. Jess and Waitman 2 apiece. Pickering and Manton, while for Collingwood, Taylor has kicked 5. Shane Morwood 4. Ian McMullen 2. Bradbury, Williams, Cloak and Mullane, the singletons. But a goal to 19-year-old Jeff Hogg. Ball back in the centre. Cloak that time gets it out. Smith hurrying it through. Taylor tries to feed it out. Magpies back in attack. Richmond back in attack. And a good mark taken down there in defence. And that one hurt Jamie Turner.
Jamie Turner takes the handball over. Tony Shaw on his own, uncontested. Has a look around, see if he can find the lead. Can he pick anyone up? Yes, I think he's looking to see if he can pick up a player. Ball falls to the ground. Young Sumner couldn't do anything about that then. The umpire says it's your free kick for in the back. Sumner going back to take his kick. Looking for someone to kick it to. The Richmond players have manned up one-on-one. No one loose. Drives the ball down to the forward pocket position. Players fly. Big punch at the back. Scooped off the back as Dacos runs around looking for Smith. Smith drops the ball onto the boot. Can he do anything with it? Oh, down in the pack. They're crushed between 2 players, and the umpire will have to ball that one up. He looks like he might have been a bit hurt then too. It flattened
McMullen.
him. Yeah. Still got the ball in his hands though. So here we are now at the 20.5-minute mark of this final quarter. Richmond 10-10-70, trailing Collingwood 15-15, 105. The tap out. The ball will run over the line and out of bounds. Gee whiz. There's no doubt about this. There's quite a few times now we've seen the throw in on the forward pocket right near the line. Let's just see how we go on this one. Oh, trying to get up there high for the tap out, but scooped off the pack and kicked back into the forward pocket position. Richmond into attack again, coming down the ground. Can't quite dummy around it. Looks for Anir. Anir drops under the left foot, but all on his own, having a field day today, is David Cloak. Cloak's decided to go back and have his kick after thinking very seriously about having a little play on there. Cloak. Big kick down to the centre-half forward position. No one can quite get to the mark. Oh, yes, there's a lovely mark. He looked like he was going to be swamped there for a while, but a lovely mark taken by Smith.
Taylor.
Is
Brian
it?
Taylor it is.
Oh, yes, I beg your pardon. I see the mud on the jumper there for a sec.
Taylor, 45 to 50 metres out. He's kicked 5 goals. And here's a chance for goal number 6 for BT. All 16 stone of him. Big Mark Lee right on the mark. Comes in. The torpedo. He'll drop it right up in the square. Morwood's in there too. Can't quite grab the ball. The umpire says there's been a push out. And the free kick will go back there to Richmond. Manton. Finds his teammate out there in Des Ryan. Over to John Anir. Anir having plenty of run. My gosh, he ran about 145 yards then. Collingwood players everywhere. Throw over to Cloak. Cloak has the bounce. He's an awkward old bouncer, David Cloak. Another one. The hand pass across to Smith. Smith's kick. One bounce. Tigers down there trying desperately. Francis clears. Zakaski. Zakaski with a long hand pass over to Poole. Poole with a short pass out wide. Walsh. The chance to set something up this time perhaps. Looking for Roach. Roach in the front position has the ball tapped away by Billy Picken. And the old veteran Billy Picken hasn't played a bad game today. He's kept Michael Roach, who's second on the VFL goal-kicking ladder, to 3 goals. And all of those have been in the second half. The throw in. 23 minutes gone, the final quarter. It's going to be a Collingwood victory and a beauty. The hand pass from Abernethy, one of the best players on the ground. Over to Billy Picken, the boy from MacArthur, has a run. He's flattened after he gets rid of it. It doesn't matter. Billy doesn't mind. The free kick down the field. He's taken on the half-back flank by Greg Smith. And a 15-metre penalty. The bionic man has his kick, looking for Taylor. Taylor tries to scoop it in. Been quite effective since he's moved out to centre half forward. 35 points the difference. Taylor will ruck this time against his former teammate Mark Lee. All body, all tussle. Over the back. Landy, he's dispossessed. Bradbury with the ball. The umpire has a look and says he couldn't get rid of it. Will bounce.
Right. 24-minute mark. Time ticking away for Richmond. Collingwood starting to feel the taste of victory here. They can sense it. The ball knocked down to the ground. Scooped up by, or kicked off the ground, I should say, by Sumner. Sumner kicks the ball in there, but it's nicely picked up by Smith. Smith looking to settle things down. Drops his kick into the centre there. Looking for a player in Ryan. Ryan takes the mark. Runs around on his mark. Drops it over to looking for either Waitman or Anea. Ball handballed over to there.
Poor handball.
Yeah, shocking handball. The umpire says no. Give it to me. The ball bounced. Players set themselves. Jess trying hard to get something out of there. Ball down on the ground. Players scrambling in to try and do something with it. The umpire says no, give it back to me and we'll try it again. Time ticking away, just on the 25-minute mark of this final quarter, just moving into time on now. The ball goes down. Jess, Cloak has the big punch. Running out there is Francis trying to get hold of the ball. Beaten by the bounce of the ball, running through. Collingwood, over to Kerrison. Kerrison can't do much with it, intercepted. Handball again, running through. Ball onto the left foot, driven down to the forward flank position, and a lovely mark, sliding mark taken.
Mark Williams it is,
Mark Williams,
captain of Collingwood. He's too far out to score. He'll look for the pass. And there it comes right now. Looking for Taylor, up and over, too high. Push in the back, the umpire lets everything go. Landy comes out with it, he's caught on his wrong foot. Tries to hand pass, it's Dacos, lines it up, slams through the sealer. Collingwood, 16-15, 111. They call him the Golden Greek. Peter Dacos, 16-15 to 10-10, and Dacos has kicked his first goal of the day.
And hasn't
been an enormously important player in the game, but done some nice things each quarter. And the margin, 41 points. Only a matter of moments to go, but Dacos, all poise, all control, all skill, and the 24-year-old slams through his first 26 minutes into the final quarter. New ball. Back here in the centre of the MCG. Pro football's match of the day, and what an upset it's been. All you Collingwood fans around Australia, I know you've been enjoying our call, enjoying the game. Collingwood back into attack again. Geez, they've done that consistently out of the centre. McMullen trying to run the ball through. The tap-on's a beauty. Here it comes now. Dixon can't pick it up. Dacos offline, through for a behind. Can't have it both ways, Pete. Waiting for John Manton to put it back into play. 7 goals the difference. And Collingwood have been winners right from the opening bounce when they jumped Richmond and had 2 goals on the board in 3 minutes. They've had some terrific players. Cloak and right through the game. Abernethy. Here comes Danny Siao coming in a goal. Lines him up way off target. The good tap back. The umpire says no, holding the man. It'll be a free kick. It'll go to John Manton. They could have done worse and play Manton down at full back all day. They experimented with Ryan, and Taylor was just far too strong and experienced. Back in the centre wing position. Anea gets the ball out to Landy. He's on his correct foot, looking for Rioli. Rioli's done a few nice things. One thing about Morris, you always know he's there because he keeps putting in. Tries for the smother. It's Abernethy, possibly the best man on the ground, who has it up on the forward line. Landy runs through. The long handball into the centre finds John Anea. Back to Eustace. Eustace's kick falls short. Not good football. Danny Siao fumbles, but still manages to get his kick in. Finds David Cloak, and Cloak has just been so dominant in the air.
Cloak takes the kick, drives it down to the centre of the ground. Running in to try and get hold of the mark, and a beautiful mark elects to play on. Driving it down the centre half forward. Jess is underneath it and takes a nice strong mark. The umpire has said no. Sorry, I'm bringing that ball back into play. Looked to me like he was going to call for a free kick. You probably couldn't see it on camera. Nonetheless, Jess, there was a good strong mark. Going back to take his kick. He'll try and repeat this like his last goal. Big high kick. It's a big kick. The distance looks all right. It's a beautiful kick. It's a goal on the siren. Richmond, 11 goals, 10, 76. Lose and go down to Collingwood, 16-16, 112. This is the final quarter. It's the end of the game. Richmond, a shock upset today. Collingwood deserved their big win. So we have now, just to give you those final scores again in the final quarter here, Richmond 11-10, 76, going down to Collingwood 16-16, 112 on the Pro Football scoreboard. And it's from me, Greg Gill and Stephen Phillips, that we wish you all farewell.
You want to be a real footballer? I've been a real footballer. You've got to look like a real footballer. You've got to go for the mark. The VFL mark. Go for the mark. Go for the mark.
Go for the VFL mark at Myer. Real footy Guernseys, real footy shorts, and real supporters wool jumpers in all club colours and badges.
Go for the mark. Go for the mark. Go for the mark.
Go for the VFL mark at Myer.
A game certainly filled with interest. Maurice Rioli coming back to his old club, starting on the interchange bench and starting to get the feel of VFL football once again. And Collingwood, the players putting behind them the plea for $1 million, saying, don't worry, we'll go out and do it our way, and they certainly did. With a two-pronged attack up forward, it certainly paid dividends. Brian Taylor finished the day with 5 goals and Morwood 4 for Collingwood, whilst for Richmond, Jim Jess and Michael Roach each contributed 3. As far as the ladder is concerned, well, the win doesn't do a lot to help Collingwood at the moment. It does keep them alive, however, their 3rd win for the season, but it could prove costly for the Tigers because they're currently now in 7th position on the ladder, 1 game away from North Melbourne holding down 6th spot. But of course things can change in the weeks to come, and we certainly hope you'll stay with us here on Pro Football when once again we'll be presenting more great VFL action.